To the old 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lads. To be fair, hello, he's on already. Good evening. Yay. Well, welcome, Mr. Suffolk Andy for a start, and Mr. Carl Saunders.
Good evening, afternoon.
Good evening. Good evening.
I think it's evening now.
Yes,
yeah.
Whatever dimension you are in at the moment.
Yeah, I know, fucking fourth dimension, I think. But
I'm in Zog.
Anyway, how you lads been keeping? All right.
Yeah, I've been at home and been to the shops, and then yeah. Well, I've got my jab next Thursday.
Yeah. I just had to shoot up the Morrisons. Who we got here? Right, let's just bring in Kenny, and let's bring in Chris. Good evening, Kenny. Good evening, Chris.
Hey, Kenny. Hello, Chris.
Hey, guys. Hello.
Evening all.
How you lads doing? All right? Oh, fucking hell, it's Nita. Hello, Nita.
Hi, Nate.
Nita.
She's a sweetener, is Nita? The sweetener. Kenny's
bloody hell, mate. God, his ear off. Violent women today, aren't they? What's the matter with these modern women today? They're violent.
I know.
Years ago, it used to be the other way round, didn't it? The old man used to give the old girl a good old slap. That's the other way round now.
It's the other way round, mate. I'll tell you what, she's stalking Kenny.
She's stalking him, yeah. She's going to put him in that fucking budgie cage, mate.
Anyway,
I think I better face the kitchen for the time being.
Life is forfeit.
Have you still got that lock on that kitchen door?
Nah.
Yeah, all right, okay, mate.
Oh, just shut the door and put the fucking parrot in front of it.
I could do that, anyway. Chris.
How you lads been keeping?
Where the sofa is, she wouldn't be able to open the door because the parrot's in the way.
Yeah.
That's what we was hoping. Keep her locked up.
So, Andy, what have you been up to, buddy?
Well, I had a disaster on Monday. I burnt my bloody hand, 3 of my fingers quite bad, fucking great blisters.
Right.
That was a good start. And then my boss sent me to drop off some stuff in Bedfordshire, right? He said, "Oh, little job boy, just ride to Bedfordshire, drop his stuff off. Here's the address. You got a sat nav." So I put it in, went off to Bedfordshire, in the freaking truck and his gear. Right. And about 3 hours later, this guy I was supposed to drop it off to says, "Where the fuck are you?" I said, "I'm here, mate." I said, right. "His sat nav telling me I'm here."
Yeah.
So he said, "Not on the track or anything, mate." He said, "You're 53 miles away." I was like, "You are joking." And honestly, I don't even know. I've racked my brains all week how I got 53 miles away from where I was supposed to be. And I followed the sat nav all the way there. I don't know. So the job was abandoned. The good thing was I still got paid 12 hours for getting lost.
Did they actually give you the right postcode to fucking drop this stuff off?
Yeah. Well, he gave me a postcode. Right? I put it in. That took me to Ben Nevis. Nevis, and I went. Yeah, I went back to his house. I was outside his house. I went, "Mate, I ain't gonna get there for 13 hours." He go, "What you mean?" I go, "I'm going to Ben Nevis, mate, with this." He went, "Oh, fucking hell." So he gave me the address, which was Malden, Bedfordshire. Right. Now, you get an Essex, don't you? But Malden in Bedfordshire. And I put it in the sat-nav, fucking pressed it, all come up, off I went. Because I didn't know where it was, I'd never been there. I just followed the sat-nav. It took me 53 miles, this other little town, which I got there, and thought that was Malden, didn't I? So,
okay.
Fucking crazy, right?
This takes me back to a video you done about 3 or 4 years ago, Andy. Remember your sat nav? And I kept calling you a fucking knob jockey.
Yeah. Yeah. That fucking pay me back, I tell you. That's not that one anymore because they don't work anymore. This is only about a year-old sat nav. I've never known it to take me. And I looked on the list and I don't know. I really do not know, and I wrecked the brains. But I got 12 hours for it. He was all right about it, but I thought, fucking hell, he's never going to let me do this again, is he? I get lost.
That's fucking funny because we were having a chat earlier on, and some of the crew runs and other runs that we've done. when you put the destination in the sat nav, you've turned up somewhere, right? You've looked at each other and thought, what the fucking hell are we doing here? Right? And there's all these distinguished faces all looking and thinking, hold on a minute, what is this fucking postcode? And we've all realised that 4 of us have put the wrong postcode in the fucking sat navs. We've all gone to the wrong place at the same place at the wrong time. Yeah.
This place was supposed to be Bedfordshire, and I landed up in Leicestershire. Fucking Leicestershire. I went up the A1.
Really.
So
I'll tell you what we need. We need to go back. We need to go back to fucking A to Z's, mate, and street maps.
yeah, I think so. I should get that tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think you learn the way better with a map.
I think we can over rely on the old sat navs, but let's be honest with you, none of us would want to be without one. I don't think now.
Nah,
You're too reliant on it. Because most people, when they've got it on, they're listening to the music, they're talking to somebody. Whereas if you, like us old school, used to have a map on your fucking lap or across the steering wheel while you were driving.
There used to be a little sticky, don't make me remember, little sticky notes on your handlebars, right? And as you got to the last destination, you just pull it off and flick it in the road. That's if the whole lot didn't go flying down the street as you left home,
Yeah.
Well, on your tank bag, you used to always have a section on the top. You could slip your map in and see it. But then once you got to the top of the map, you had to pull over, get it out, turn the page, put it back in, and off you went again for the next fucking 100 miles.
No, I used to just write notes down of the route I'm taking.
Yeah. Comical stuff. Anyway.
Well, I never questioned it. That's what got me, because Bedfordshire and Leicestershire is, quite a difference apart. But I just followed it to the left, to the whatever it said. I went up here, got to this town, and thought I was there. But never mind. That's fine. One of them days.
Oh, that's one of those things, man.
One of them things, yeah.
I think that's like when I took the fucking works van, right? I had to go and deliver to some Pakistanis, right? A load of material. I was supposed to be in Tottenham, right? Well, when my sat nav went down, I don't know London, right? So anyway, I've been in London. I received a phone call from the company saying, "Are you there yet, Weggy?" I said, "No, I'm fucking lost." I said, "Your poxy sat nav went down, right? I've got no power, right? I don't know where the hell I am." So I said, "I'm just going to travel till I can see something I recognise." Anyway, so I travelled about another 2 miles up the road, and I gave him a call. I said, "Right," I said, "Can you advise?" I said, "I need to be in Tottenham, right, by 3 o'clock." I said, "It's up past 2, yeah?" Right, and I've just pulled up the Madame Tussauds, yeah?
Miles away.
I was literally sat on the left-hand side, Madame Tussauds. I thought, am I close?
About an hour away then.
Right? And I'll tell you what, man, trying to race around London, I mean, you're fucking fighting turban-wearing bus drivers, right, who are willing to take your fucking mirrors off at the drop of a hat, yeah? And, of course, it's like a fucking, it's like a race rink. No matter where you go, mate, it's just fucking 200 mile an hour, wherever you go. And it's, if you don't know, if you really don't know London, that's quite an experience, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, I've been there for the last 2 days, the other side of London. I've been at near Brook. Is that Brookwoods, the racing track?
Kenny would know, probably.
Yeah,
Brooklands.
Brooklands. Yeah, I've just been working just down the road from there last 2 days. Yeah.
Christmas. Right, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Hey, Nina, what are you on, Nina? What are you on? What are you smoking?
These are on drugs, mate. He's on some baggy.
You know that.
Fucking on,
All right, we're smelling tea.
Anyway, Andy, just chatting to you earlier on, mate. What bike did you say you booked in for the MOT Saturday? Is it the BMW or the Kawasaki?
BMW, mate. Yeah. I want to get back on the road now, so
yeah.
I've got to do a bit of maintenance on it as well. So I've got to change the oil in the back. Because that's shaft driven, isn't it? And I ain't ever changed the oil for the last couple of years. That's a bit of a shit job because everything to do with like BMWs or like my BMW is always a good pain in the arse. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I've got to do that.
They make life a little bit more difficult for the standard mechanic. Your home mechanic, don't they? Really?
Yeah.
BMW.
Well, most of the BMWs, when you do the oil in the shaft at the back, there's a hole at the top and a hole at the bottom. fucking simple.
Yeah.
But on mine,
Yeah.
no, you've got to take the bloody wheel off. Then you've got the hole where you fill it, and you actually empty it. So then you have to disconnect it and turn it over to drain it, and put it all back together again, and then you can put your oil in. It's a pain in the ass. Same with the oil change on it.
If you've got to do that, Andy, do yourself a favour.
Yeah.
And pull the drive shaft, pull the shaft out from the gearbox end, and lubricate the splines, because BMWs are known for going rusty on the splines, and then they lock up.
That is true, that. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Well, Andy's played it before, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. My mate's got it on a GS, but GS is a worse for it because they tend to go not off road, but a little bit more wet conditions than the road versions, as you like. Yeah. But apparently, they're quite common on all of them.
Supposedly, they had a few years ago, they had a bit of a recall on that particular thing, if I remember right.
Yeah, I think they did some of them at the same time. They did some of the. Oh, fucking hell. My brain's gone totally blank. At the front of the frame where the fucking forks go, they were snapping. They were snapping welds at the front.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, all bike companies have had their foibles with different things over it, isn't they?
Yeah, I think BMWs are a good, reliable bike. But as you say, the same as anything, you can get an issue that's not apparent when they go to sale.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
And the only way they really find out is obviously by people actually physically using the things and getting some miles out of things, isn't it? To be honest,
Yeah.
But, all right, Andy. So what about the? I've sort of moved right in the panel, but so what about the Kawasaki, mate? What have you? Up and
running. Up and running. Drew it up and down the street the other day. That was fine.
Yeah.
It started today, actually. I don't know. Mrs. P was a bit upset when I said I was going to sell it.
I know, is Mrs. P there?
Yeah, she's in the other room. Yeah, she was a little bit upset when I said I was going to sell it.
You stick Mrs. P on them, and mate, we'll have a chat.
Paul in. Come here.
I'd just like to say hello to Gordon anyway. Hello, Gordon.
Hello, Gordon.
Yes, Joe.
Hey, buddy.
Tell these guys on here you got upset when I said I was going to sell the BMW.
Hello, Mr. P. How are you?
I want to cry.
So then,
What they say?
if that's the case, Andy, are you going to? Okay, well, let's have a chat with Mr. P properly. Hello.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, good. So, Andy, you don't want Andy to sell the ZZR, no?
No, too many memories.
Right.
That's
Tell him
the
to sell
only
the
bike I
BM
can
then.
sit on.
Right. So in reality, so you don't fancy going on the back of his Beamer? You still prefer the ZZR 1200, yeah?
No, I mean Amy looked cramped on there, and she's half the size of me.
Well, I don't know what you want me to say to that, really. Just,
There's nothing to say. Put me and Amy together, and I'm, she's half the size of me. So
you know what, young Amy, she's sort of quite happy being pillioned by Andy anyway, aren't she? Don't matter if you stuck her in the back of a wheelbarrow, she'd be smiling.
Oh, yeah, I think she would.
Anyway, I don't really think Andy's got a choice, and he can't sell it, can he?
Yeah, man.
No.
He's got to sell
I
the
would have to sell the Beamer.
Yeah, sell the Beamer.
Yeah, sell the Beamer. Sorry, you've been outvoted.
There you go. Look at that face on him now.
Look at the look of shock in his face. You what?
He's gonna cry now.
Andy, don't worry. It's not as bad as kiddie fiddling, I promise you.
He said it's not as
Anyway.
bad as kiddie fiddling. I promise.
Anyway, nice to see you anyway.
Yeah, take care, guys. Hopefully we'll all meet up soon.
Yeah, darling.
Actually, just quickly,
What's that?
I've just told Andy, we're hopefully when the club gets to open up properly, I'm looking to have some Suffolk crew meets, obviously, at the
I'll be there.
which will be cool.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, that'd be
That'd be
great. That'd be really great. See you guys
Drinking
later.
out of Elsenheim.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you later. So let's get Andy back first. Andy, you've been
Well, there you
told,
go.
So the
unfortunately,
Beamer's gone, mate.
Bye, Beamer.
Yeah.
We better get used to the Silver Dream Machine again, buddy.
Yeah, if that was the only one I had, mate, I'd be quite happy with it.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know. Anyway,
On the
that's
plus
not-
side, get rid of both of them and get a ZZR 14.
Oh yeah, but
I have been looking. I must
Yeah.
admit, I have looked because I've always wanted a 1400 Kawasaki.
There you go.
Always wanted one. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can see, I
Always
can
wanted one.
see a big war coming on between Andy and Weggy. Green envelopes on a Monday morning.
They're terrible bikes.
High speed winds.
Terrible bikes, they're terrible.
Terrible bikes, mate. We won't have none of that, Kenny. I'm going back to a GS 250 twin. All right.
I'm going back to me Lambretta, mate.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I'll still see it at Crew Hill. We'll have a little race around the block. All right. Right. Anyway, moving on to young Carl. How are you, mate? All right?
Oh, I'm super, mate. Super. Looking forward to getting out.
Yeah, I bet you are, mate.
You're looking zonked, Carl. You okay?
Yeah, just,
Mellow.
I've been out the house for ever and a day, and
Daniel, in favour, there's a bottle of beer in there, I think.
I think the warden's
Go
turned
shit.
the heat
How
on.
many of the bikes in, Carl?
well, I've got the
Doomba.
who's saying
Open
what?
4 stars.
I've got some work to do on the on the Indian one. Bloody hell, I'm zonked. The Enfield, there's one of the spokes is broken off. It needs fluid changes and service and stuff like that. And then once I've got that up and running, I've got electrical problems on both the other Hoya songs.
Yeah, you said.
So I've got have a play with them.
Yeah. So how the hell have you ended up with a broken spoke on the Enfield?
It just broke, mate. It's
Really?
not there anymore. Poof,
Really
it was dead. It was gone. It's got a little stub sticking out the wheel where the spoke was.
Yeah.
But the rest of it's gone.
Yeah.
Don't know where, when.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
had to notice it about 3 weeks ago when I was cleaning it.
So you got obviously you got competent people around your area which can repair the spokes, or you can do it yourself.
Do it myself, mate. It's a pain in the ass to take the wheel and tyre and everything off in the tube
Yeah.
But it's easily done, just replacing one. So
Yeah.
it's have to do respoking the whole thing. It's a pain in the ass.
I know, mate. It's quite an art form actually respoken.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'll be going to Cat and say, Cat, spent my wheel for me, here's some pennies.
Be a big SOS.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so do you think it's going to be ready for the start of your biking season then, Carl? Or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got to measure the length of the spoke. And you can, they're only about £4 or £5.
Yeah.
For a stainless one.
Well, the last time I had a
Join the rest of them up to match the new one.
Well, that's true. That's another thing, isn't it? Are they stainless spokes on them, aren't they? Obviously.
I don't know. The ends aren't. The little nipples aren't stainless because that's rusting. On all
It
of them.
could be cheap stainless. That'll still rust.
Yeah, the spokes are the nipples tend to be sort of either galvanised or
Nipples.
Yeah.
Kenny, do you want to grab Nita and see if hers are galvanised?
Make it up, mate.
Your
It's on the
nipples
tablet,
galvanised.
not much further, I don't know.
She'll be fucking slapping me when I get up there, won't she?
I'll tell you what, mate.
Bloody right she will.
I'll tell you what, Chris, when you do come up here, mate, I'm inviting a lot of these characters round. Right?
Yeah. Fucking right.
We've got about 18, 20 mugs in the cupboard, so we should be all right. Might have to
that'd be
fill
good.
the kettle a couple of 3 times, though.
I'll bring my own if I have to.
Anyway, excellent, Carl. So at least you're going to be ready for the season, obviously, mate. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hopefully I'll have the Hoysum 650 ready for longer distance stuff.
Hello, sorry, mate. Just say hello to Jason, mate. GTS garage.
Yeah, I'll just see him come up.
No
Hello,
see.
Jason.
Hello, Jay. Good to see you,
Hello,
buddy.
mate.
Good to see you, mate.
Yeah, because I've got to change the stator on the 650.
Yeah. But you still got the 125, the higher song thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's got an electric problem on it as well. I've never been able to get the bottom of that one. It's
Right.
always been there, but it's getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
That's got to be a project, isn't it, for a total electrical motor,
Yeah.
and just see
The
how
only thing
crap
I
they
haven't
really are.
changed is the brain box. So I might have to get one of them. That's the only thing I haven't changed on it.
Do you know-
I've got a new electric toothbrush if you want the motor.
It'll probably be a bit too powerful, mate.
you know,
I'll tell you what, Carl, I have actually seriously got a motor from one of those nose and ear clippers. That would fucking do it, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, that's a bit less powerful than a toothbrush, mate.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that would do. And you only need one battery in it as well.
absolutely.
Scale electric motor.
Yeah,
At least you got a decent supply anyway, Carl. That's the main thing.
You've
Yeah,
got
we won't let you
options,
down,
mate.
Carl.
Options.
Supply,
Yeah.
mate, all on the stream. Happy days. Anyway, Chris, great to see you, mate. What have you been up to, buddy?
Same shit, different day.
Work.
Yeah. So I've been told I'm not allowed to go into work at the moment. I've got to work from home.
Right.
That's, I don't know. Don't know whether I like it or not. Like anything, got pros and cons. There's some things that I want to do that are at work that I can't do, and there's some things I can catch up on at home. So, I mean, we had a bit of a chin wag yesterday, and you know, I'm in hospital in a couple of weeks for this next foot op.
Yeah.
So that's going to be me off the road for at least 6 months, bike-wise.
That's quite. If you don't mind, sort just speaking about the op, it's quite an extensive thing you're having there done to your foot. To be fair,
Yeah. For those of you that are squeamish, fuck off and come back in 5 minutes.
Exactly.
What they're going to do is they're going to split the foot right up the middle, and I'm not sure whether they're putting like a T-shaped cut into it so that they can flap it open, or whether they're just going to put a 3-corner tear in, and they're going to put butterfly-shaped brackets across every joint in the foot, and then stitch me back up.
Yeah.
So I'm
you're
not going to
not
be able to
dead-
get a boot on for a little bit.
No.
yeah. If you're not dead, no, you should be right after about 6
But
months.
this is what they. I'm trying to think of the words they use, but I'm fucking struggling with words tonight because I'm on the tramadol again.
Yeah.
Weggy knows the score.
Yeah. I do. Yeah, absolutely.
It's like an interim operation. When they first diagnosed it 3 years ago, it was a case of put up with it until the pain is so bad that we'll cut the fucking foot off. And I said, well, if you're going to do that, let's do it now. Let's save all the aggravation and the pain for me, and all the cost to the NHS for me keep going back for appointment after appointment after appointment.
Yeah.
I said, just take the fucker off, but they won't. And then I went to my GP about 2 months back and said, pain is too bad. I want it off. So he said, okay, I'll send you to the surgeon. And the surgeon said, well, what about this other op? Which I didn't know anything about. They hadn't told me. So we're going to try that first. If that don't work, then it'll be the foot off next year.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, mate.
I'm not worried,
well,
mate.
you-
In fairness, it doesn't worry me in the fucking slightest. It's like walking on fucking gravel in bare feet all the time.
Yeah, I can imagine, mate. And I'll tell you what, I appreciate exactly where you're coming from on that, because I suppose you get so much grief from something like that. You know, when you get to a point, you think, you know what? I suppose it's like in a much smaller sense, it's like a tooth. You'd like to keep all your teeth, but eventually you get to a point where you just take the fucking thing out,
Yeah.
lose it. You know, if that's causing you problems. I mean, a foot's a completely different bag of nails, but if it's forever causing you pain and grief, that's only going to be detrimental to your peace of mind in the future, mate. I mean, obviously, you know, you're a lifetime biker, which is obviously where I'm coming back to. And of course, we all know people who have lost, you know, various limbs and this, that, and the other who still ride a motorcycle, you know. And obviously, I would have thought with someone like yourself, I know you've had problems with your eyes, this, that, and the other, but I would have thought someone like yourself, regardless of what happened to you, you would carry on in some form or fashion.
Oh, fuck me. Yeah. As soon as I can get a boot on, mate, I shall have it on. Trust me.
Absolutely.
And if that's on my own foot, once the swelling's gone down, or whether it's on a prosthetic,
Yeah.
I shall work something out.
Yeah, we haven't spoken about this before. It's like a brittle bone thing you've got in your foot, though, isn't it, Chris?
Yeah, it's diabetes related. It's called Charcot foot.
Yeah.
And it's basically the bones just go all brittle, and so I'm kind of dithering because I'm trying to find
Yeah, no, you're right, mate.
us on the YouTube channel so I can reply to a couple of comments that have come up, but I can't find the fucking thing.
Well, Jason's obviously just come back with an obvious, which he thought he would have done, like many a trike, and I can suspect. If you
That
ever-
is an option.
Yeah, if you ever went the trike route, mate, I would suspect there wouldn't be anything less than a 1400cc lump, to be honest with you. You know,
If I went the trike route, it would probably be a fucking V8 knowing me.
something a little bit pokey.
Yeah, I mean,
Robin
it
Ryan,
all
mate.
depends. I mean, another option is that I get a bike that's got gear lever on the other side,
Yeah.
and I can put a rear brake up on the left-hand side by the clutch lever, like they do on some of the
Or
race
just go
bikes.
for a suicide shift.
Yeah. There's always
Nah.
ways and means around it, Chris, aren't they? You know?
Yeah, I'm not. Do you know, I thought about suicide shift, and I thought, I know what a fucking mad cunt I am.
Yeah.
And if I've got something like another ZZR, and I'm having to let go of the handlebars at warp 6 to fucking change gear, I'm going to kill myself even quicker.
Yeah.
Tiptronic, push button.
I'm going to put
Yeah,
this up.
yeah, that's another one. That's another one that I've seen. Yeah,
Yeah.
V8, mate. Well, that's my eBay ident. That is, it's a V8, mate.
Yeah, V8, mate, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, where the fuck are we? Why can't I find us on YouTube? I can't get the fucking chat open up with us.
Yeah. You have a little gander, but just have a what's your let's have a look. What's he put on here? Good. We'll get a bike with dual clutch transmission. I mean, although I'm trying to think. Because obviously,
VFR does it.
type
Yeah.
of
Honda VFR, touring
Yeah,
bike.
or go for one of the DCT Hondas.
Yeah, well, the NC 750, but I think Chris would fucking commit suicide if he rode one of them.
Yeah, I'm not having a fucking twist and go.
That's what they are, basically, isn't it? To be honest,
Yeah.
twist and go. That's exactly what they are. Do you know what though? There's a lot of people, and Robin was the same. I mean, I don't think Robin's was a twist and go version, if I remember rightly. Andy, was it? I don't think it was. I think it was the geared version of the NC 750. It's got a great big fucking boot as the tank, isn't it? You know, it's just trunk the size of a fucking bedroom wardrobe.
Yeah, you'll get your fucking suitcases in there for the airport.
Yeah, that sort of shit, you know, and some fucking contraband tobacco to feed the family for the next 10 years. That sort of shit, you know. Right. But
like they say, Wiggy, Honda. You know, like I said earlier, the VFR is you can get that in an automatic transmission, and that's quite a brute of a bike when that gets going. VFR touring bike.
Yeah, I was reading up on quite a few of the old bikes on the VFR. I mean, it's going through eBay. I mean, I sometimes go through eBay till 2-3 o'clock in the morning looking at bikes, the same as Kenny and the U guy. And to be honest, the VFR came up, and I didn't realise they do an automatic version, but they do. There's quite a few of the companies who do an automatic type or semi-automatic type of system there with the bikes.
Yeah, I've got a funny feeling the new BMW K16's automatic. It's either that or the new Goldwing, one of the two. Because I watched it on 44 Teeth.
Yeah,
one of them's automatic.
Yeah, 44 Teeth. That's a bloody good channel as well, isn't it? Yeah. Somebody did mention it earlier on, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Chris, we'll come back to yourself, mate. We'll have a good old chat about bikes and what's going on in the world at the moment. Kenny, good evening, Kenny.
Hello.
How are you doing, me old mate?
I'm all right now. I've got a new battery on the bike that was on charge for 14 hours to bring it up to 14.1 amps. Volt. The one that came off the bike's been on charge for 3 days.
Right.
It's on 13 volts on the meter, but it's only got 2 bars on the battery indicator. So that is a definite scrap job.
Remind me, Kenny. I mean, I use the Oxford Optimates, which basically it's a plug and play. It doesn't give you any reading of voltage or anything like that. What it does is basically you plug it in, it repairs it and desulfurs the plates, goes through the slow build up, and then trickle charges it up to a full battery power, and then obviously keeps it trickled over a long period of time if you wish it to. Is your charger like a VU meter type thing then, or what?
Well, it's a multi-function job. 6 volt, 12 volt. Trickle charge for cars or bikes.
Yeah.
And then you got a main charge if you want to use it, say for like 5 hours to give you a full charge.
Right.
I can leave it on trickle charge because I've rigged that hella plug up I used to have in my truck. So all I do is I've got a piece of plyboard with a couple of bolts sticking through with the wires, so I can clamp the bulldogs onto that and then just plug it into the battery charger underneath the petrol tank.
Yeah.
Well, and to take the battery off.
Yeah.
Because to get to my live side of the battery, I've got to pull the whole bloody thing out from underneath the seat.
So and again, you've got the, like the Optimator, you obviously, you get the lead, you connect it to the battery, so it's permanently there. So you ain't got a piss ball about with seats. That's what you've got, yeah?
Yeah.
It makes life a hell of a lot easier, doesn't it?
I have to take the side panel off and then undo the screw and then pull the battery out, rest it on your knee while you're undoing the other screw without dropping it on the floor.
Yeah.
Hello, look out. The boss has arrived.
The boss is here. Yeah. Will I go with
So I got something that I noticed earlier on the Suffolk Crew page.
Yeah.
And I'll apologise to the guy because I can't remember his name.
Oh, Kevin Simpson.
Might have been Kevin, yeah. Got the BM and he was asking about insurance.
Oh no, that's Murray.
Was it Murray?
Oh, right, Murray, yeah.
Well, apparently his insurance company wouldn't insure him unless he had a Thatcham Category 3 attachment on there.
Yeah.
But the wording on his post suggested that it was an alarm.
Yeah.
And it's not. All it is basically is you need a Thatcham Category 3 padlock and chain, disc lock, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Which most insurance companies are now asking for above and beyond the normal alarm and immobilizer on your bike. They want a physical lock on there. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So tell him not to panic.
No, well, you can post that back on tomorrow because we had quite a discussion with that, and of course, I mean that was through debits, if I remember rightly. You were saying, I've never had a problem with debit. They sorted me out pretty sharpish last year with the ZZR when I had the motorcycle accident. I got sorted out pretty quickly, but that's the only time. That's the only insurance policy I've ever had with debit. So I've got no long-term history with them. So I was surprised when I see that. To be fair, but like you say, Chris. And we all know this. When you go on, you go for your insurance premiums. To bring it down slightly, or even to actually turn you down for an insurance, they do request that any lockable device that you have, whether it be the alarm or the immobilizer, or whether it be a chain, a security lock, whether it be an anchor chain or whatever, an anchor post, is Thatcham approved. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, you can make savings from that. But,
and don't be fooled into the old categories as well, because about 2 years ago, I think it was January 2019, they recategorized everything. Yeah. So what was a category 1 might still be a category 1. What was a 2 might be a 1, and vice versa. Yeah. So be careful.
Yeah.
If you had a category 1 5 years ago, it might not be classed as a cat 1 now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So whatever they say, I just lie and say, yeah, I've got it. No, I only go for third party anyway.
Do you?
The cost of my bike. So no, I'll just wear it if I have an off on it myself.
Yeah. No, I don't know about you lads. I mean, I ain't done third party for years and years and years, mate. I've always go fully comp, considering that don't cost jack shit or anything nowadays anyway. Not for our age, we're getting on in years, So it's obviously with the full no claims bonus, no claims bonus for most of us. That's not a silly sum of money. In fact, the car that I've just insured is probably 4 times more expensive as a 1.6 Focus than it has been any of my bikes over the last 4 or 5 years. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
To be honest, and the tax is
I've literally organised my car insurance within the last 5 days. And I thought I will just have a quick look because it's gone up as they all do.
Yeah.
I will just have a quick look and see how much third-party fire and theft is. And I saved 42 quid if I went third-party fire and theft. No, fuck
really?
that. I'll stay fully comp.
Yeah. Do you know what, Chris? Sometimes, I know you notice, when you go for motorcycle insurance, not so much cars. Well, I mean, I've only bought a car in the first time for about 6-7 years, fairly recently. But if you drop down to, say, for instance, because you do sort of have a look, third party is obviously going to be the cheapest. But do you know what? A lot of companies actually make it more expensive to go third party fire and theft than they do to go fully comp. You notice that?
Probably.
They slap a bigger excess on.
Yeah.
Fuck you, bunch of dinosaurs. Really?
Cheeky.
just left the room, mate.
She was there as well. She called us dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs. What's that all about?
That's fucking good coming from a Triceratops, isn't it?
Yeah.
You didn't hear Chris just now, did you? Can you repeat that, Chris?
I said, that's fucking good coming from a Triceratops. That's my kebab fuck for next time, isn't it?
You're fucking good, mate.
She said, can you leave her tops out of it, please?
Shit, fuck it. When I get up there, Wiggy, she's going to piss on my kebab now. You watch.
Oh, mate, I'll tell you. Yeah, looking forward to it.
I'll still fucking eat it.
Yeah. But anyway, that's a surprise. A surprise. Anyway, speaking of Murray, right? Well, Murray's just purchased, I don't know if Andy knows. Murray already had a GS. Murray's got quite a few bikes. Of course, he had the Blackbird, which he's keeping. It's the one I borrowed. He's got the Harley Davidson, which is a big red, fucking beautiful machine. He also had the GS. He had a Ducati, which he's now sold. He's still got a BMW K100 sitting in his garden, right, which he's going to do up, I believe. But his latest purchase, Andy, is a K1600 GT.
Oh, right, yeah.
But I think there's a 6-cylinder motor in it, 160 horsepower. And that's the one he went to insure today, I believe.
Oh, right, yeah.
Beamer. And that is,
he likes his bikes, doesn't he?
Mate, I tell you. I've seen some big bikes. I mean, this thing weighs. I actually put up the MCN review earlier on and sort of shouted out Murray on the crew site. I think it's about 315, 320 kilograms, this bike. It's a big old bastard.
Yeah.
The engine's a 1600 6-cylinder motor. But I've got to admit, it's a lovely looking bike. It's a lovely looking machine. Big.
Do you know that is still lighter than these electric bikes?
Yeah.
Even the race ones. I mean, the race ones are 320 kilos.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just GTS. I mean, obviously Jason's Barbie, a fully comp covers you for kit as well. So helmets and leathers, but you have to tick that option on those though. And the other option you have to tick. This is a pain in the ass, and we've spoken about this before on insurance policies. Once upon a time, a pillion was you weren't questioned about a pillion. If you want to take a pillion, you took a pillion. You're insured.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you have to make sure that you tick on the policy itself at the time that you're going to have pillion cover. It doesn't stand for shit. It really doesn't. But you have to tick it for you to make you legally insured to take a pillion on your bikes.
Yeah.
I unfortunately missed that the first time, and I had to get it. It cost me 15 quid to correct it, believe it or not.
Yeah, the thing is, it's 2 seats. It's got the pillion seat there, and no, it's like a car. Like you're going to insure your car not to take passengers or something.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, so like insurance policies are sod nowadays. I mean, I don't know about you lads, but I always use the Go Compare shit. Nowadays, every single year I'll go and use a comparison site, the best deal, regardless. And the silly thing is, you take it back to the original company. Say, for instance, I had a quote from Bennett's for 150 quid. That's gone up from, say, 79 or 80 quid. Right? You then take another quote from another company back to Bennett's, and they'll match it and drop another 10, 20 pound off. So to be honest, they only charge you another £5 more than the previous year. So what's that all about?
I can tell you that. I've got a friend that works in the insurance game, and he told me this about 5 years ago, and it's still true to this day. If you want to renew your bike insurance, never go to a broker, go online. Online, you'll get an online discount. Yeah. As a new customer, you'll get a new customer discount. At the end of the first year, your policy will probably go up by at least 50 to 60%.
Yeah.
At which point you go and find somebody else, you get an introductory offer, you get an online offer, and you get it back down again. And that's what I've done. I change my insurance every single year. I do that for the car and the bike.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
it works.
And to be honest, the only way that I'll stick with a company, I mean, I've been dealing with Bennett's for a few years and debits.
Fuck me, who's that geezer?
Who's that? Oh,
Who's
fucking
that?
Dave.
Well, I'm not. Fucking Dave's back.
Hey,
Everybody knows
go
a
and
Dave.
join us.
Hello, Dave.
I thought
Dave,
he'd gone to fucking Tahiti.
I thought he still cleaned his kitchen, to be honest with you.
Evening, Dave.
Hello,
Dave.
Dave. I was hoping he was going to
Dave.
join us.
Oh, there you go. You want
I don't know whether young David
PC to
PC sorted out because he
join us.
PC went up in flames, didn't it?
right.
Oh,
Where's
fucking hell. Wiggy, PCs. I had a fucking email from Hermes.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
You know, I said they told me to fuck off. They weren't going to pay anything, even though I'd insured it.
Yeah.
I went back and I said, right, I said, there's a solicitor's letter on its way. I got an email within 25 minutes. We're paying you.
Too
We're going to
fucking
pay the
right.
insurance.
Yeah. Excuse the language.
Well, I know that.
We all know the fact that Chris was going to send me a laptop, right? And Hermes went and had they lost it, right? Whoever all the shit, the lies and the bullshit that they fed myself and Chris, right? They then turn around, right, and say they're not going to give Chris any money back for the fact that his laptop went missing. Yeah, but obviously now you've now been told that with the threat of a solicitor's letter, then they're going to pay you. Happy days! What a bunch of wankers, really.
And I insured it under their instructions.
Yeah.
And they still said it wasn't fucking valid.
No.
Wankers.
No, absolutely. That's fantastic, mate. Well, you'd be pleased to know. Obviously, I'm now
You
fully
got your one back,
fully up and running. Yeah, fully up and running with the PC, which is great. You know,
we're nearly back to standard.
But yeah, and I don't know about you, lads, but I actually much prefer to work off a desktop system than I do a laptop. That's just me, I suppose.
I do when I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Because I like to have my screen at that angle to read it, but then look where I am on the camera. So I've got to have it like that, and I can't read the screen quite so well, which is why I'm always fucking doing this, trying to read. Blind cunt that I am.
Yeah, I know. I just found it hard. I just found it quite difficult with a laptop, to be honest with you. I've never been a fan of laptops.
No, nor have I.
You know?
Evening, Zed.
Speaking of 1400 ZZR owners, Mr. Z Head Motor Vlogs. He's the man. He used to have a ZRX and now he's got a ZZR 1400. He's had it for a while. Yeah. Good evening, mate. Right. Anyway, like I said, I was speaking to Andy earlier on. You know, bear in mind, obviously with the Suffolk crew, right? And I know a few people are watching. I did put a post up earlier on. I've been sort of thinking about it, and because essentially after I think it's at March the 29th, you can then you can then ride with anything up to 6 people, right? Meet up with 6 people, yeah. I don't know how that goes I can't remember how it goes from a socializing perspective. I mean, they're just going to say it's common sense stuff, you know. You still, whether it's the 2 meter ruling and all that sort of stuff, I haven't really looked into it that far. But what I've said is, with a crew, I did put a big post up saying that as far as I'm concerned, I've already got one decent event gone up for, I think it's the end of August. I'm not really going to put any major events up or any crew runs really, from what we're used to, up until the end of, after the June the 21st, I believe it is, when we supposedly, fingers crossed, we get this envelope of complete freedom away from the COVID crap that we've been living the last 13, 14 months. Yeah. I don't know how you feel about that. I mean, I've been speaking to a lot of guys who have obviously
happy fucking days, isn't it?
You know, a lot of guys who are advertising their shows. And, a lot of people, whether it be clubs, other groups, whatever, pretty much are within the same line of thinking. You're going to let people obviously, get on and do what they do, which is fantastic, and we'll all be doing the same sort of thing. But I don't really want to promote anything until after June the 21st.
Well, that's it. You know that it shouldn't get fucked up.
I don't know what you think about it, Andy and Carl, and obviously Chris, mate.
Well, I think no, you probably end of May or in June you can actually start promoting stuff, because we should know by then whether it's going to happen or not.
Yeah. Well, we've said that so many times. I know. I appreciate what you're saying, and we're all excited about it, Carl. Obviously, that's quite a big thing, and of course, there's a lot more interest now. People have got some perspective on a possible window. There's a lot more excitement within the groups, and of course, people are now sort of coming out from the winter side of things, which is a natural thing, but also the COVID has kept a lot of people just stayed and it's not really sort of paying much attention to what's going on apart from what's going on with the COVID shit, to be honest. But from a biking world, from the fact that us bikers have really we've not had any freedom on the road at all for what is it now, 2-3 months?
Cool.
Right. It's quite a big thing. What I'm saying. I mean, it's great. I was speaking to the guy about the Stonham motorcycle show and the Stonham bike nights, and he says, as far as he's concerned, they're looking to still go on from April. But I just struggle, and I hope it. It's great. I support all that shit, but I just struggle to see how you can possibly make these things happen with the restrictions you've got up until June the 21st. I just don't see how it can be possibly done.
It's a gamble at the moment.
Yeah.
My first port of call after June the 21st, fucking up your neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Bombard, fucking gate crash, fucking Andy's club. Don't drink his cellar dry.
Yeah, well, it's obviously. What do you think about Andy? I mean, bearing in mind, we all know about the Cop Doc show. The Cop Doc show is going to be going ahead, right? And of course, there's a load of other things that are coming up. The Beer Bikes and Bands is the one I've promoted, which is a fantastic run for the crew. And of course, I've said to people, if from a crew's perspective, and of course anybody can run, but you lads know some of the fantastic runs we've had from the summertime up until October time, the last 3 or 4 years. I mean, we've had up to 70, 80, 90 bikes on one or two of it. Well, quite a few of our runs, to be fair.
Yeah.
So I just see it from my perspective as a safe, I suppose, respectful sort of way to go, if you like. After that date, if we're still going ahead and everything's fall into place as far as the government's concerned, and we get that final date, it's going to be fucking hellfire, mate. We're just going to come alive and run a riot, mate. We're going to be all over the place every weekend.
We'll be like fucking Quadrophenia all over again.
We'll be, mate. It'll be fucking mental. We'll even take the scooters with us.
The whole country will go fucking mental, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We'll be out on our bikes, all the cars will be out, fucking roads will be chocker. And
they're already chocker, mate. They're already chocker. Never seen so many bloody cars.
Bikes coming both ways, getting into everybody's way filtering, and we sat there. Fuck, I wish I was at home.
No,
Nita, you won't get a letter. You're not allowed out the kitchen.
Yeah.
She's not allowed out. She's not allowed out until Kenny says so, because Kenny told me earlier.
She's got to stay in the kitchen.
Right, Kenny.
Seeing that level of violence earlier, she must have an Asbo out on her.
What? Yeah, I was going to say, what institute is Nita in then, Kenny?
Hey?
What institute is Nita in?
Institute.
She's upstairs in the bedroom, out of the way.
No, but I don't know. And it's like I said, the other thing is, and this is something that we've spoken about, the support. I mean, as everybody knows who's watching, and obviously you guys here, that Suffolk Andy's got his club. And I always said to Andy, if we do get the chance, because obviously it is a club that obviously needs support, like every other local pub and club within the country. As soon as we get the chance, it's another post-up after night. We're going to have a Suffolk crew get together. That will be a big one. I'll speak to Andy about it. We'll get it sorted. If it's a success, we'll make it a fairly regular thing. Yeah. And everybody's invited up to the numbers, obviously, that the place can hold. But you think about it. His booze is good. His booze is cheap compared to a pub. It's nearly.
That's what you need, Andy. Yeah, make sure you got plenty of that in there for me.
Yeah, Andy.
The simple fact
then I'll drink the fucking place dry.
How much is our pint of shandy?
Half a pint of shandy.
That's what I drink, mate. I never drink.
It's the same as the price of a normal pint, so you're better off just having a pint.
Oh, yeah. Right.
That is true, actually. That is the same price.
Yeah, I've noticed that. You have Coke or lemonade in places like that. The price
No,
I got really surprised about 5 years ago. I mean, I've not drunk for 25, 30 years. But about 5 years ago, I was up in London and we were in a Chinese restaurant, I think it was. Some restaurant up there anyway. And I ordered a round of drinks. There was 5 pints of lager and an orange juice and lemonade. And the pints of lager were £2.50 and the pint of orange juice and lemonade was fucking £4.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
said, how the fuck does that work?
Andy, just quickly, Andy, we've got Mr. Robin Pill, Rob69, 63.
Oh, right, the old dogging boy,
Right.
yeah.
Right, he's on the chat. Now, Robin, this is a request from all of us, mate. Please get your fucking cam sorted out and join us, mate. All right, you'll have a chat about all sorts of rubbish. Right?
Yeah. Quick as you like.
Come on, Rob. Come on, Rob. Otherwise, we'll fucking tie you to a tree in the stag.
Yeah, well, I've got a story to tell, Rob, anyway, because the other night when I was on a job, there was a young lady or a woman and 2 blokes.
Hang on, do you want to go down this route?
Dogging. No,
young ladies, women, on the fucking job. You've got your missus sitting around the corner, ain't you?
Be careful. You go out there watching dogging.
There was a woman, 2 blokes dogging.
Just dogging.
They were dogging in the car park where I was fucking parked up. Yeah.
So did you have your lights on as well, did you?
I know.
True. Yeah.
People around the car park on side lights only, you dirty old git.
Andy was sitting there with the interior light on.
I'll try to get.
I tried to see if that was Rob or not, but I don't think it was him.
Right, Robin's on the admin crew. He's on the crew admin side at the moment, so I'm going to send him a picture and invite him back on here. Here he is.
He's at the bottom.
Oh, let's just move there.
Yeah, did you video it, Andy?
No, mate, there was a bloody great fence between us, I must admit. Bloody great fence, but
I've just sussed out what's fucking gone on here. You've been watching them fucking dogging. You've burnt your fucking hand, didn't you? 3 fingers. Too fucking fast.
Friction burns.
Friction burns.
You fucking dropped yourself in it, you bastard.
I have now, mate. I'm gonna have to come off this fucking stream.
Let's just catch up here. Right, we got make sure we have a good supply of tequila. Right, you get all the luck, Andy.
Got plenty of that, mate.
I'll try to take it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's that. You were actually recording that last week, weren't you, Andy?
Yeah.
Chat and that, and
no, that was the fight. That was the fight that was in the same place. There was a bloody great fight. They had to get the police and all the bloody dogs in and everything. They was poachers because 2 lakes by this bloody car park, and the bailiffs turned up, the water bailiffs, and they caught 2 blokes about, I think it was about 8 or 9 o'clock at night in the dark, poaching carp. And all hell broke out, mate. They were fighting and going ahead.
Why would you want to poach carp? I mean, unless you're going to fucking eat it. I thought it's only miracle.
No.
Oh, no,
they're worth a fortune because, say you've got a lake and I've got a lake and you've got big carp in your lake and I've only got little carp in my lake. So I'll send somebody over to your lake to get your big carp to put in my lake, and more fishermen will come to my lake to catch my big carp. And that's what's going on.
Electric fence.
How much, gentlemen, how much would you like Rob69 to join us? He's fucking saying, he's telling me, right? He's watching, right? You really want Rob to join us? Yeah.
He's got to, yeah.
We got to boost the figures somewhere. We've gone from 15 down to 11.
Yeah,
all right, so we do one of 2 things. You either get Rob on, or you get Johnny Langton on, or you get Jason on.
Yeah, Jason's more than welcome to join, mate, any time.
Yeah.
We know
or you have a word with that lady sitting at the side of you and get her ass on here.
Oh, she's in the kitchen. I don't know what she's doing. She's in the kitchen. Yeah. I can see her in the kitchen. She's watching.
She'll be getting your fucking chili noodles ready.
I'll tell you, fingers just gone up.
Only one.
Is she watching? Are you watching? You're not watching. Right. Fucking hell. No, John Langton. Johnny fucking Hesse.
Hello, Johnny.
Good to see you,
All right, mate.
Yeah, he was well chuffed tonight because obviously the picture that I've linked to the video on YouTube is inclusive of Andy's bike, Johnny Cactus, Jenny Cactus, and of course Johnny Langdon's. Yeah, with his old plates. Yeah, old plates. He's got his old plates on.
Don't start us off again against that. Good poor bugger. He gets it every week.
I know. No, seriously, already. Yeah, Larry Davis. Hello,
Larry's is there as well. Evening, Larry.
Oh, mate.
Where they do the
I'm
COVID?
happy watching. I'm too shy. Come on, John. Bugger off. Get on here.
Johnny, come on, come and join us, mate. Come on, we tried, I've advertised it on the crew and all over the place, and now we've gone up to 2,000 viewers. It's fantastic.
Aye. When I did it, we had 7 million. Come
Oh,
on,
no,
man.
mate.
We did. Hey, that was just me and you, wasn't it, Cole?
Yeah, 7 million.
I won't tell you what we were doing.
Telly was crap that night.
It fucking must have been.
So, Kenny,
Yo,
have you found yourself a potential next motorcycle, my man? You've been up and down the breadth and width of the country. Like, have you found anything?
I found 3 or 4. I didn't know how light is it S3 650 Susie was?
Fairly light.
Yeah.
100,
Quite flickable.
189k rather than 227 like mine.
An extremely popular motorcycle once owned by Mr. Keith Watkins.
I still prefer a 4 across the frame. Still looking for a Bandit or something similar.
Yeah. I still reckon you should go for a Phaser 600, mate. Far better than a Bandit.
Yeah, I'm a bit debatable. I can't make up my mind. I like the Susie 600. I like the Susie 12 and the 1250.
Yeah.
But I was looking at some of the early phases around the 2000, and they're fairly heavy. There ain't much difference between them and mine.
What's that? What, the Phaser 1000 or the Phaser 6? The Phaser 600s are not that heavy.
Yeah, it's come in at 218. Where?
Yeah.
It's not so much the weight though. It's actually depends whether weight is. If it's low down, it ain't that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what surprised me when I chucked my leg over Wendy's 1200 in her garage, because it's got the low dog bones on it,
Yeah.
and I can put both feet flat on the floor, and that felt light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas Biggie's got a, what was that? 20 over? What was yours? 20 over, wasn't it?
Well, mine?
Yeah.
Nah, 40.
40.
Yeah, 40 millimeter dog bones on them, which doesn't take it up 40 millimeters. It takes it up, it's just a
But
bit.
then saying that was on the side stand on a slope, wasn't it? So I was leaning against it to start with. So
See, Wendy's has been lowered. It's been lowered by 25 millimeters. The back end, which effectively. You want to have really slid the stanchions through the triple tree a little bit, to be honest with you. But supposedly it's okay, which is the same as neatness.
I felt all right. I could lean on the handlebars, and I could put my feet up on the pegs without my hip going out. But that's only sitting in the garage.
Well, I say it as well. Yeah.
What's it going to be like on a run? That's the thing I've got to worry about.
What's that? Yeah. No, seriously though, I'm not being funny. The Phaser obviously had a 1200 Bandit. The 1200 Bandit was fantastic. It was a wild piece of shit. And of course I loved it. 40 millimeters can upset it for a lot of people, but it certainly didn't me. But as far as the 600 is concerned, and I've not had that many, I had the XJ 600 and the Phaser. I found the Phaser was an absolutely fantastic motorcycle for a 600 bike, loads and loads of power, usable, good brakes, it handled well. The weight was fairly low as far as the distribution was concerned. It's low level weight. Just a bloody good bike, mate. And I know for a fact you'd love one if you had one. I know it.
I'll have to go on Nick Bryan's when he's not looking.
You know Greeny, how he flies around on his. I mean, Greeny had an XJR 1300 and he sold the XJR 1300 and kept the Phaser 6. Yeah.
What? Couldn't he get his fairy lights to work on the 1300?
How much difference is there in the two power plants between the Phaser and the XJ? There's not a lot. Is it basically the same engine, isn't it?
What's that?
Between the Phaser and the Diversion, it's the same engine.
No.
Is it not?
The Phaser's a far better engine than Diversion. No.
So how do they differ? Is it just like a cams thing that's different, or what?
No, to be honest, they're two completely different engines. They're inline force.
Really?
Yeah, but the Phaser produces a hell of a lot more power than the Diversion. And because Kenny had a Diversion, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking the Diversion as a bike. And I found one the other night at 900, which I posted up, which was dirt cheap. And the Diversion, I think was it the Diversion 900? It was a shaft drive.
Yeah,
I believe, yeah, like the old XJ 900. The Diversion 600 Kenny.
Divvies are more city bikes, though, aren't they, for commuting and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm just looking down at GT's comment because he said it's detuned, because I know he had a Diversion.
Yeah.
And he did a really good project on it, actually. If you haven't seen it, you need to log onto his channel and look at it.
Yeah.
That was really good. But I didn't realise. So it's I mean, they both look and sound really nice bikes.
Yeah, Diversion. See, the thing is, I mean, if you want to compare a similar bike, really, I mean, the Phaser 600 is a renowned as a good quality, powerful engine for a 600. It produces on paper 90 horsepower. It's probably equates to about 87 horsepower. 80 around the 80 mark anyway for a Phaser 600. I can't remember exactly what they put out of the back wheel, but believe you me, right, they've got a lot more go in them. They're a lot more fun than a Bandit 600. Far more exciting, and you know the Diversion to me is a good, reliable commuter type bike that will cover some miles, but it's just like watching paint fucking dry. If I'm completely honest.
Not the most exciting.
Boring. Boring.
So would you say the Diversion is more comparable to the Bandit than the Phaser?
Yeah, well, I could rumble along at 30 mile an hour in top gear on my 600, open the throttle, and she just gets up and go. But then when it's only pulling 55 kilos, that's jack shit for a 600, isn't it?
Yeah. I've got
that's like one of my legs, Kenny.
I don't offend anybody by what I'm saying, but the Diversion is a diversion. You know, and of course, I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean, I'm not a fan of the Bandit 600, whereas I'm a big fan of the Bandit 1200. It's just the Phaser.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
weird, isn't it?
Looney Tunes, boy.
I'll tell you what, Wiggy, one of the bikes you forgot is the ZZR 600.
Yeah, not a
If you can get one of the last ones of them, mate. I Buster had one, and I had to drive it for him for insurance purposes. Long story, but anyway, I had to get it MOT'd for him, and I was quite surprised how good that little bike was, that ZZR 600.
Yeah, I know.
It fucking hopped along, mate.
Do you know what? I mean, I remember my mate. I mean, obviously, I had the ZZR 1100, the D5, but that was much later on after production. But a mate of mine, when the ZZR 600 first came out in the I think it's, I'm trying to think when the 600 came out, but it's in the early 90s anyway.
Quite a while ago.
He bought a bike, and I thought, bloody hell, what a fantastic looking machine it was. I was always a big Kawasaki fanatic anyway. And the 600 bike seemed like a large 600, but trust me, you know, a 600cc bike that could do a capable 150 mile an hour was a bloody new thing in those days. Tell you what, the ZZR 600 is poor old Dave. Too late, Weggy. I'm upset.
You get a good one.
But no, they are a good bike. But I love the ZZRs.
Yeah.
Oh well, I don't know. The thing is, say for Kenny, I'm just trying to think of Kenny because obviously Kenny is used to the setup and beg style now. But they're saying that Kenny, from what he says to me, he wouldn't mind being more forward on the bars. I'm not saying clip-ons forward, but you know, Kenny's quite happy to ride something like a Diversion or a Bandit, which is, you know, there's a little bit of forward lean on those. You're not sitting bolt upright on the things, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dave. I didn't mean to upset you, Dave. Yeah.
Ding bong.
Anyway.
I should still keep prowling around looking.
Yeah.
when the cash hit the bank, I'll make up my mind what I want to do.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I've noticed. I don't know if you lads noticed. If you're looking on eBay and whatever, and Gumtree and Facebook, Marketplace. Obviously, this time of year, the bikes. Yeah, love you lots too, Dave. Right, the bike prices are now starting to go up again. You know, and it's actually surprised me that the prices have to be fair, because people have really struggled to sell motorcycles over the last year, haven't they? You know, I find.
Although
Yeah,
the
you know why,
new
don't
bike
you?
sales have gone up weirdly.
You know why
You-
prices
you-
are going back up again, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know exactly what they go up.
yeah, but
That's
new,
because
new,
old,
new
us old
bikes,
fogies like us don't want to go fucking electric.
yeah, but the new bike sales have actually gone up this year.
Yeah, I have.
Sorry, last year. You think, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Spent half the year in lockdown, and the bike sales have gone up. What's that all about?
Yeah, I know. I've been looking at all sorts of. Do you find that when you go on eBay, you've got an idea of what you want to look at, right? I know what bike I'm after. I know, with the deal, and it's all sorted out, and this, that, and the other, right? But you stray off, and I've been looking at Blackbirds, I've been looking at Buses, I've been looking at fucking all sorts of stuff, and then you get a random bike come up, and I end up looking at something like a VFR 750 or something or other, and but I find it entertaining, because even though I'm not looking for that particular bike, I like to read up on so many different bikes and the specifications and get some history on that particular model. And I can sit there for hours and hours doing that sort of shit. I don't know about you, lads. You know.
It's not exactly something does it for me. The annoying thing for me is cruisers and the bikes I like. They tend to hold their bloody value. So
Yeah.
I'm looking for a cheap second-hand cruiser, unless it's
Yeah.
a 125. The value,
Yeah.
the amount you have to pay is bloody stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Jason said it. I mean, this is a point. I mean, we got, as we said, TTT in Sudbury. They do these. They got obviously the sales for Royal Enfield and the Himalayan. I don't know too much about the Himalayan, but that's doing really well sales wise, isn't it? Very
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That's knocking
Enfield
on the
bikes
door
are-
of all the big bikes.
That is,
Yeah.
mate. I mean, I know one of the guys that we know through YouTube. He's a Norfolk guy, Freddie Shennington. He's got one, and he's making all sorts of videos with the bits and pieces that he's doing to it. You know, and I think it's one of those bikes that people are really enjoying owning. You know, at the moment, same as a lot of the Royal Enfields, though. You don't get too many dissatisfied Royal Enfield owners at the moment, do you?
No.
No.
The modern ones, if you actually look at the prices, they hold their value as well, very
Yeah.
well
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the second-hand market.
Right,
Looking at
that guy's got a thing as at Motorbike Adventures. He took a Himalayan from India, right through all around India, all across Pakistan, right up into Nepal and all these places. Bought it back. He done thousands of miles on it, and he said it never hardly missed a beat.
No.
Yeah,
That's not the powerfulest bike. You're only talking about 80 mile an hour flat out.
Yeah.
It's only an 80 mile an hour bike. It's
Yeah.
very underpowered, but it is what it is, and it does what it's supposed to do, and that can tackle very, very rough terrain.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
no
like
problem.
there's a Dutch lass called it Itchy Boots.
Yeah,
She bought it in India and rode it back to Holland.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, so we've got a few owners of the Royal Enfields and the crew. I mean, Keith Pitt. I think he's got the. What do you say he was, Kenny? What's his model?
I think that's the Continental.
Continental. That's a nice looking bike, isn't it? The Continental.
Yeah, well, what he's done, he's changed the rear cans for like the reverse cones you used to get on the old Norton
Yeah.
Commandos.
Mm.
He put a pair of them plastic panniers on the back with the side light built in on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It do sound nice. It looks
to
nice.
the quieter, he's had to put the DB killers back in.
Yeah.
And that still rattles the shit out the top of his shed.
Yeah. Yeah, they are a nice bike, and they still, like I say, Royal Enfield have really done themselves proud. I mean, you know, they had reliability problems with the old bullets, this, that, and the other. You know,
Well, they're not the later ones. Is that no? It was the until mid '90s.
Yeah,
After that, they became very reliable.
yeah, absolutely. I don't know what Skeggy's is. Skeggy's is not as old as it looks. Skeggy's got the blue one, I believe, and
Yeah, that's called a classic.
yeah. How old's it? How old's Skeggy's? Because he's got the bullet.
4 or 5 years old, maybe 6.
Yeah, so it looks old.
Mine's 2.5.
Yeah.
Because one of those Himalayans, they're only about brand new, about $4,000, aren't they? Something like that. They're not that expensive, are they?
Yeah, my bullet was 4,200 on the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. I didn't think they were that expensive, so.
Well, back in a second, lads.
She interrupting you again?
Fighting batty time.
4,200. You get no EFI bike with ABS. No other frills on it. But it's just a brilliant bike. It's great fun. If you're going around the country roads and whatever, unless it's a long straight bit, I'd keep up with you. No problems. It handles lovely.
Yeah. Sometimes, if you think about it, I know we all like our big bikes. I know Chris does as well. But sometimes, yes, I know. I know, but sometimes you really don't need it, do you?
It depends. I mean, I think I've said a couple of times, I'm going to be probably a year without a bike again, but I plan on having some form of a project in the garage. And I might drop down to a 500.
Oh, bloody hell.
But it would be a 2-stroke.
Oh, right. That'd be a different story. Yeah, that'd be a different story.
RG 500 Susie.
Yeah.
Possibly. I mean, I'd like to, if I could get hold of an RG for reasonable money, probably $4,000, something like that. I wouldn't want to go much higher because you wouldn't be able to do a great deal to it. It would have already been done. You can always tart them up a little bit, but I'm thinking maybe a 500 motocross bike.
Oh, right, motocross.
Or something, something like that, just as a project. Strip it, rebuild it, and then store it. Go towards my pension.
I know myself. There's been times when I've ridden smaller bikes, and I must admit, when I bought my CX500, that was a throwback from when I was younger. Yeah. And I got that, and I took it out on the road the first day I got it, and I drew it around for a day, put it back in the garage, and went, I can't ride that. That's just not there. It's not there, It just didn't do anything for me, And I just wanted to get back on my liter bike,
Yeah. Do you know, I had a friend that had just the CX, not the C, just the CX 500. And it was a lovely looking bike. It was all in black. It had a black fairing on the front. And he looked after it. It was fucking showroom condition, but no modifications. It was like all bog standard. Yeah. But it sounded nice and it was reasonable. I mean, this is back in, I don't know, 83, 84, something like that.
Yeah.
But it was a really nice bike. And that was one of only 2 bikes that I got on the back of. And I felt fairly okay. But yeah, just not a fan of being on the back of anybody, in fairness.
Because, yourself, Chris, we've all been on bikes and they just don't do anything for you. You don't.
No,
you need a bike that's going to make you think, fuck, I like riding this bike, or it gives you a bit of an edge. But
part of the problem I've had in the past has been my weight. So whereas somebody like Carl's size or Kenny's size can get on a 600 and keep up with me if I'm on a litre bike or a 12, 14, whatever. I'm hoping that when I lose weight, it won't be quite so bad. But what's Rob put? Something with the CR500 engine in it. Yeah. I've actually seen a road bike with a CR500 engine in it that I can't think of the guy's name now. A reasonable, reputable bike builder built especially for Danny Pedrosa when he retired from MotoGP, and this thing was fucking. It was moving, and it was built as a road bike, not as a trail or a motocross or a fucking anything. Shut up! Who was fucking speaking to you?
Yeah.
Feathered fuck.
Yeah.
You've been told, mate. Now shut up.
Yeah, these birds just can't get the gob shut, can they?
No. I see that thing that GT's put up as well about Triumph Electrics. I've only ever had the one, and sure enough, electrics were the issue on it. And they were the Tiger is prone for bad starting problems, and it's all because of the leads that come from the battery down to the starter motor and starter solenoid and earth and stuff like that, all the battery terminal leads. And I changed them on mine, and I did a video of it on my mates when I did his because I forgot to video mine. And I actually showed the leads side by side, and the replacement leads are double the thickness, and it made all the difference. They were just losing so much when you go to crank it. They were just losing all their power, and it wasn't enough. It was just it was just like your battery was flat. Change the leads, boom, away it went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was design
I
fault.
know Jason's had problems with his. Yeah. Jason's had issues with his Triumph. I know that. I've seen some of the videos on that. Is that a trophy you've got now, Jason? You have to stick a yay or a nay up in there. I think it's a trophy that he's got.
I can honestly say I've never actually ever ridden one of the Triumph 3-cylinder things. You know,
mate, you got to try it. You have got to try it.
I've been on one.
I had a go at Meriden Trident years ago. When I was in my early teens.
Yeah, it is a trophy that GT's got.
I've not had a go on a modern one.
Mate, I'll tell you what,
it's hell of an engine, I reckon.
Yeah, everybody says that having a twin is really torquey, and having a 4-pot, you're all revvy on the top end. Well, if you've got the triple, you've got the best of both worlds. You've still got more torque.
It's the best in between.
But you've got the revvy as well, and that 1050 that I had, that would stay with most 1 litre sport bikes up to a ton.
Yeah.
Start going much over that, and it'll slow down.
I think the 3-cylinder bike I'd like is a Rocket 3.
Yeah.
That 2.3cc moped, mate. Nice.
No, I've never ridden a 3-cylinder bike. So
yeah,
I've been
you need to get on one. You need to experience it. They are good.
Yeah. I might have to nip up when the old shop's open and have a test drive on one just to see what I like.
Yeah. Don't take out the 800 Tiger. That's quite a lot underpowered. If you're going to take a Tiger out, take out a 1050 Sport. You could go on the 1200 Explorer. They not too bad, but I think the 1050 is quicker than the 1200.
All right.
And I think that's quicker than the new 900 as well.
So what are their sport bikes like? The Sprint and stuff like that? Are they?
They're pretty good. For me, they're too small.
Okay.
They're quite a low bike.
The size of the bike in there are very small.
Yeah, because I quite fancied going for a Bonneville a couple of years back, and I sat on one, and my fucking knees were up under my ears.
Yeah. They are small.
Which was
no
good.
Bikes.
Wouldn't be any good for me because I'm 6'1", so
same as.
Probably,
same as.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So it'd probably be too small.
Yeah, they are quite low. Although having said that, because then I fancied a scrambler, and I sat on that and it was too small. But when they brought out the new 1200 scrambler, it's about 4 inches taller, and I can sit on that. That one's not too bad. That was quite good, but I just found it to be a little bit pricey at the time.
Yeah.
So it stayed there.
Yeah, the new Bonnevilles are quite pricey, aren't they? I think the bog standard starting price is about 10 grand.
Yeah, I think since Triumph have got into MotoGP, they're their stock has sort of gone up a little bit in value, and as a result, they're putting their prices up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I think part of the thing with Triumph was their value for money in the past, but they're
It's borderline now whether you're actually getting
Yeah.
that value for money that you used to get.
yeah.
I think, like Jason said, the sprints are okay. Many of you guys remember Ninja Nelly. He had a 955 sprint, and he's got the 1050 sprint now. Last I spoke, but yeah, really nice. Just too small for me.
Yeah. I think if I can remember, a couple of 3 years ago, I was up at one of our dealers who do them, and they had them all outside, and I actually sat on a sprint, and because I got a little bit of problem with one of my knees because that's false, I couldn't actually bend it enough because that was so small, and I was sitting so cramped up, I couldn't actually get my foot on the gear change to change it. So that's how small that was. So I thought, fucking hell.
Probably more comfortable on a Grom, mate.
I've been on one of them.
I know.
Hello, Larry.
I look like
Take
a
care,
bloody
Larry, mate.
elephant, mate, on a fucking pimple on one of them at the
Oh,
show.
yeah, dude.
You was, mate. We were all at the show. We all got on a, didn't we? A fucking Grom. Looking fucking hideous. Oh, that was funny. But
I
I don't know.
Conscious, I wouldn't get on at the time.
No, you fucking wimped out, mate. You let us fat
Yeah.
buggers get on there, didn't you?
Yeah. TPT laughing.
Yeah. I was looking at some.
Shy.
I was looking at a guy who was talking. I can't remember what all 5 of them were, but he was talking about best touring bikes in the world, and he reckoned the Yamaha XJ 1300 is. Is that the one? Is it the shaft driven? Is it XJ or was it?
No, it's the FJ. The FJR shaft driven. The FJ's chain.
Yeah. Yeah, like he reckoned that was the best touring bike in the world. I don't know if it is or not, but
Difficult to say. I mean, it's the same engine as in the XJR, and they are very, very torquey. You can poodle around town in top gear. You don't have to
Big old
change down.
bike.
You just open the throttle up, and it just pulls you straight through.
What's that? The FJR 1300.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Do you
yeah, touring bike.
Do you remember East London Kiwi had one? Duncan.
Yeah, that was this guy reckon that's the best touring bike in the world.
Yeah. Hepcat Harley had one, didn't he? Remember?
Yeah.
He had the red
Yeah.
strike. I can't remember what happened.
Oh, yeah.
He dropped
I
it.
think I'd argue the case on that one. If I was going to have a bike just to go touring on, I'd probably get the Kawasaki GTR 1400.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with
I
the
think it's
up handle.
fantastic big touring bikes out there. I mean, of course, you're going to have the Goldwing fanatics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's even Harleys that'll do that.
Yeah.
but if
You don't
like
want
what
to go so too
like-
quick.
yeah, like we were saying, say Triumph, right? If you bought a Triumph to go touring on, would that, in this country that would be fine. But if you think about it, if you went to France, Germany, and all these different places, and something happened to it that broke down, would you have a problem getting parts for it? But
No,
like a Jack bike, yeah, because a Jack bike you can get parts anywhere, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would a Triumph be a little bit tricky if you were somewhere in France and that broke down, you needed a part, you know?
I don't know about France, but definitely Germany and Holland and Eastern Europe, you'd probably not get a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think.
Yeah.
You know, talking about the FJR 1300. I'm trying to remember why Hepcat sold his. I mean, I know him and Mandy are always sort of buying new bikes now. He's got, I think, I don't know what bike he's got now. Has Hepcat bought the 1000 SX?
I think he has, yeah, because he had the 900 Tracer after the FJ, didn't he?
Yeah, he didn't.
And he didn't like that.
like that at all. No,
I think Mandy's got that now. I think Mandy got the Tracer.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
But
he's
she
on the
was the-
1000 SX.
Yeah, she was doing up an old bike, weren't she, in the garage?
That was Enfield.
That's
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's one.
I think
Craig
taken
Jones is
by
on
now.
that.
1980s Enfield. They are really, reliability wise, they're crap.
Yeah. Mandy actually posted a video. I think Hepcat said that was actually a year because they were doing quite a considerable amount of videos with these bikes. And I know Hepcat has been built this fantastic shed workshop, which is incredible. Some incredible workmanship going into it as a motorcycle. There's a motorcycle workshop, really. To be honest with you, it looks like a fucking house. But to be honest, I mean they've been working on the Royal Enfield, and I think they hardtailed it, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
Got Craig Jones hardtail on it.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
And if I remember rightly, I haven't watched it for about a year because of COVID, and they haven't been able to do any more.
No.
But I think at the last point, they were just finishing off doing the rear brake rod to stop, and there was something else they were doing to the brakes. Can't remember what it was off the top of my head. And then I think that was pretty much it. And then it was a case of strip it, finalise all the welding, and then start paint.
Yeah, I think so. I think
they're 3/4 of the way there.
I think once once we get the sort of this June period, or even just before that, I think between them two, they'll probably get a bit more lively with the work on the bikes. Again, like everybody, I think
I'll tell you what would be interesting is come October time, all those guys that normally wrap their bike up in fucking cotton wool and blankets and put it in the fucking garage, how many of those will actually carry on riding through the winter this year to make up for loss of time?
Who knows, mate? I mean, this is something we spoke about. I was just speaking to this other guy, Alan Smart. He's just started up another group called the ABC Anglia Bikers Collective, or whatever it's called. We know enough about the collective.
Yeah, we ain't going there, not tonight.
Well, he has just your old mate has just changed garage, hasn't he? He's got a bigger garage now, hasn't he?
Who's that?
Yeah,
Del Boy.
Del Bollocks.
I don't know.
He's his garage that he moved into. He's now moved into a bigger one now.
He's moved into the unit next door.
Yeah.
And I think we had 5 fucking videos of him moving stuff between one and the other.
Yeah.
Do you know what, Chris? I haven't watched any Del Boy videos, mate, for must be about 4 years.
I stopped watching them, and then I started watching them when Matt Hudson from the workshop started ripping the piss out of him. And then I started watching them as well. And it's surprising. I don't do it to be vindictive, but when you actually look at it, rather than just watching it from an entertainment point of view, but watching it from a critical point of view, the amount of fuck-ups and dangerous stuff that's in there, and you say to him politely, that's wrong, or look, do yourself a favour, here's the correct spec for what you've just told people, someone's going to get hurt if you don't change it, and you get slagged off coming back, and then he wonders why people fucking slag him off.
Yeah, well, a lot of the time, if you post anything that's detrimental, which we know was how the collective was run, right?
Yep.
It gets edited out, right? So it goes missing.
Yeah.
All right. So at the end of the day, he is what he is. To be honest with you, going back to the early days without going too far down the Del Boy route, in the early days, he was just a normal geezer working in a garage like the rest of us. Right, just put out videos with helpful tips on the motorcycle maintenance.
That's it.
Right, and everybody's got a limit, And to be honest with you, I think if even with enthusiasm, you've still got to have, a fantastic skill with a lot of these things. And to be honest with you, if you haven't got that, then you are going to get dangerous with certain things. Which, to be honest with you, is all too easily done if you're prepared to make videos about something you don't know too much about.
He is quite clever at some things, though, Wiggy. Sometimes he's quite clever.
What's only
I've always said that his metalworking skills and his fabrication is pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely.
He does
say
get some
hello to us down in Australia. Big
Kev.
Okay.
Brilliant, mate. Cheers for joining us.
A lot of what he does is quite good. He does have some pretty fucking weird ideas. I mean, you want to put a fucking Waitrose trolley on the front of a fucking booster.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, Chris, remember we used to have the hangouts years ago. I used to do the collective hangouts because nobody had done them before, and you were a regular part, and Carl joined in as well.
Yeah.
We used to have some fairly good chats.
Yeah.
That would include Mike from the States. who was
I
regularly
think-
working his garage and stuff.
I think where it all changed is when he got to the point where he was actually getting money from YouTube,
Yeah,
and it all became about numbers,
Yeah.
and everything else went by the by. And it's a shame because genuinely the guy is a nice guy,
yeah,
but he just needs to listen to advice that people give to him.
yeah,
And I have noticed probably in the last year, he has done one or two, not apologies, I won't say that, but he has put his hands up
yeah,
once or twice and said, look, I am learning. But rather than say, I am learning, this is how you do it,
yeah,
it should be, I am learning. I'm going to try it this way and see how it comes out.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think,
So that people don't listen to him because he comes across very well. It's very well presented
yeah,
and well produced.
yeah,
People look at it and think he's a fucking professional,
Yeah.
take it for gospel that he knows what he's doing, and
Yeah.
then he'll tell him to take off the fucking radiator cap when the engine's hot and wonder why people get burnt.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think where going on too much about it. I think the main problem for me was when you were part of the collective when we were all good friends, right?
Yeah.
Of course, we knew Del Boy as a friend. I used to regularly speak to him on the phone about all sorts of shit, bikes and the what was going on with the collective and all that. And I think the only problem was it became a little bit personal with some of the members. And of course, when you start getting feedback about other members in a group that you don't want to hear about, that you could possibly disagree about, then that's
it.
that's where it went tits up. There was
You
too
get a
much
divide then.
there,
Am I going to stand by the group or am I going to stand by my mate?
Yeah,
And I think that's what happened. And that was the start of the decline.
yeah.
And then
Probably so.
most people know it all went fucking tits up.
Yeah.
It's still going.
Yeah,
Fair play to him.
It's like his missus. Penny, lovely girl. And she was enthusiastic. And she supported him all the way, which is as you'd expect. And it's still at the end of the day. I wish him all the best on that. If I see him on ever about, if we just say, for instance, we do a Triumph Day, which we regularly do up the Ace Cafe, if he was ever up there, I'd chat to him normally. I wouldn't ever. Wouldn't be funny with a bloke, But
No.
that's
I've always said I'd say hello to him. I'm not sure he'd say hello to me.
I was hoping. I was looking on the Ace Cab site today, and remind me, when is Triumph Day? Is it normally in June?
Normally about the 15th of June, because it's my birthday's the 15th, and it's normally around about that.
Because I was thinking that if it's after this final day in June and that, I would put something together about a good furthest meeting up at the Ace Cafe, or at least doing a run up there,
Yeah.
I'll have to see. I'll have to check I did check the Ace site earlier on, but I couldn't find it. They've still got plenty going on though. They got loads and loads of stuff coming up.
Yeah, they've got loads of stuff going on all the time up there.
Yeah. That's how they get the pennies in, though, isn't it? They have all this, Ford Capri Day and this day and that day. And
Yeah,
this
they
day.
get an awful lot of car meets.
Oh,
But
they do a lot of armies up there.
They've been warned that due to antisocial behaviour, if it's not kept under control, they will get them shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're watching, just keep down the fucking burnouts and slideys and wheelies and fucking screeching. And,
it's like anywhere else.
they'll shut it down.
That's like when when we find these nice little venues, where it be a country pub and that, where they accept bikers. You find these little places, and you can guarantee one cock will fucking spoil it for you. Even though you put out warnings and messages of saying, people, if you're going to come down, at least behave, because we've found a cracking little venue. They're friendly people. We get offered, food, and we get offered beers and the social rates and all this bollocks. And then somebody comes and spoils it, and then they start falling out with the neighbours who are around the pub. And you've only got to have one person who's a neighbour to a pub that is a facility for yourself, and the whole lot gets shut down. As soon as they start getting local complaints from people who live in the area, mate, that's it. It's done and dusted. That's it.
I mean, if you watch some of the videos on YouTube around the outside of the Ace Cafe, it doesn't matter whether it's a car night or a bike night or whatever it is.
Yeah.
There's always people screaming up and down the road, popping wheelies, doing burnouts, sliding around, and totally blocking the road off for normal traffic. So people that live nearby, bus routes, lorry drivers that are having to work and try and get through it all.
Yeah.
It's it all goes against them. And then Paul, I think it's Mark that runs it. You know, they're going to turn around to Mark and just turn around and say, "Well, I'm sorry, mate.
You don't get your license anymore, bugger off."
That's it. You're gonna shut at 5 o'clock in the evening."
Simple as, mate.
Yeah.
That's like one of our local things, which Andy and Kenny know about. You got the Bentley bike nights, and during the season, I think it starts about April. Bentley's a lovely little village, right? It's out in the sticks, right? They got a lovely size green, Chris, where you can get 500 bikes on there easily, right?
Easy.
You got a lovely little pub. Yeah, you got a lovely little pub. If you got a sunny evening, mate, you can guarantee there'll be 300, 400 bikers on there, right? And you've got ice cream facilities, you've got little burger bars, and people just turn up, even if you turn up just an hour, right? It's a fantastic night. But of course, you've got the local residents who you know, in most, they support it, they love it. It's people coming in their village, and of course, you don't have to be a biker to appreciate what's going on your local green. It brings a little bit of life into the village. But again, year after year after year, week after week after week, you hear, and these people that are members of different groups locally, right? They know the warnings, they know the score, and yet you still get the idiots who fucking wheelie and speed and make shitloads of noise for no apparent reason whatsoever, who then potentially could wreck it every single year for us. You know, as soon as you've lost something like that, mate, you won't get it back. You know,
so it doesn't take 1,000 complaints to get a place shut down. I'll give you an instance. Thruxton Race Circuit in Hampshire, there was one person used to regularly complain about the race meetings over there, and they brought into regulations new dB levels for cars and bikes, and they reduced the amount of race meets per year, and that was one person, and a circuit, the fastest circuit in the UK, restricted by one person complaining. Fucking old bastard.
I mean, the only sort of it is, I mean, even if you, that circuit's been there forever, hasn't it?
Yeah, it was a World War II airfield.
Yeah,
same as most of the racing circuits in the UK.
Most
I mean, there's nobody there alive now who was born before the race circuit was there, so they've got no fucking complaints, really, have they?
No, not really. But like I say, regardless of what it is, whether it's a sort of a track meet or whether it's a local event, or somewhere that these places, right? You don't get these offers on a plate, So, say for instance, as a group, we love to have what's classed as a little pub, right? That we've had twice now. That we can that you get on, you get to meet the landlord and his missus or so on and so forth. And you build up a rapport, right? You go, and Andy knows exactly what I'm talking about. We've had two, one at Red House and the other one at the
Plough and Fleece.
Cockfield, wasn't it? A place called Cockfield near Bury St Edmunds, right?
Was that the Plough and Fleece? That was the Plough and Fleece.
The Plough and Fleece, right? And that was a fantastic little boozer. Now, nobody actually destroyed that for us. That was just one of those things. You went into the COVID thing, right? And that's, unfortunately, that pub, the landlords have given up on it. But going back to the previous one, the Red House was a fantastic little boozer. And of course, you get on with the landlords, and of course you've got good food bikes turning up I think it was every Tuesday or Wednesday night it was. And that was a fantastic, in a lovely summertime, when you've got the evenings are still light till 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. To be able to come out after work, have a quick shower, or whatever, or at least just go straight out there. Kenny knows, because we've done a couple of runs out there. It's just a lovely evening for bikers to get together, have a chat, have a pint or half pint, whatever, and have a gas, just to socialise. But you can guarantee eventually there was going to be the odd cock who fucking spoiled it, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, you get that everywhere.
We lost it, and it wasn't just our crew; it was the Berry crew, and a good few people lost out, and that was great revenue for that pub. It was excellent revenue. And it's the same as I say, like with Andy's, this idea with Andy's club, the Logo Club. If we can support it, and I know for a fact there's loads and loads of people looking to sort of socialise again, not just on the bikes, but on a social level. We've already done it once, and we'll do it again, mate. So that'll be great. Like I say, if any of you lads, whoever, if you do come down for one of these evenings, obviously there'll be people like ourselves out who will put people up for a night so you can stay down, right? And then you obviously enjoy a club night and then go back the following day at whatever time, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's there,
Yeah.
but I'll just wait for Andy really just to open the fucking club, to be honest.
Yeah, good deal, mate. You slack bastard.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
That'd be June the 22nd, wouldn't it, Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sitting there, get the bloody furlough money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have extended the furlough till September.
Yeah.
So what's
so
that-
he
what's
gets
that all
out
about?
pretty far up.
Huh?
What?
June the 23rd, so he's got a day to fill his cellar up.
Yeah. You talking about the furloughs?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've extended it to September. What's that about?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. I was a bit
Oh,
suspicious.
fuck me. That's fucking ominous, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. That's exactly what I
Yeah.
fucking said. It's suspicious, that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
And isn't it,
I mean,
isn't it
When
funny?
they extended it last time, for when was it, August or something like that?
Yeah.
They extended it to October. I said, that's fucking lockdown extended straight away. Sure
Yeah.
enough. Fuck me. We'll be lucky if we're out of this by next fucking Christmas, I tell you.
We may be wrong.
Yeah.
I'd like to be fucking wrong on that one because I do not, like you yourselves and anybody else, mate, want this fucking lockdown extended. No.
No.
Not. Never again.
No.
Thank you very much. I think I'd rather
that's-
call it me fucking hole, face down, and call it a day, to be honest.
Yep.
And if you think about it, Weggy, as well, isn't it funny that they're now looking for another variant, the Brazilian variant?
It's always,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I know, yeah.
I like a good Brazilian, me.
Yeah,
So-
they're now looking
yeah.
for another variant.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what happened to all this fucking closed borders?
I know, exactly.
Some fucker's been to Brazil and bought it back.
Yeah, they're looking for that person. They don't know who it is, and they reckon they're looking for that
Oh, yeah.
person at the
I
moment.
heard on the radio the other day that they'd found 5 that had been out there and there was 1 left. But I mean, it's not like fucking,
I know,
a
mate.
fucking aeroplane that comes from Brazil ain't gonna fucking sneak in under the radar, is it?
No.
You know, it's
No.
not gonna land in a farmer's fucking
Yeah,
field
mate,
and
you're up first.
a few fucking Dagos drop out the back.
The whole point.
On my news feed, the plane that they actually flew on, that he didn't finish his recording or whatever, flew from
So,
London to Aberdeen.
See you later, Kev.
Right, boy.
So
Right,
that,
Kev, mate.
Flew from London to Aberdeen.
Sorry, Nita.
Huh?
Please don't
Happy
say that,
fishing, O2 booked. What the? Huh?
Yeah, I know. Kenny, how long are you going to keep Nita prisoner?
I'm going to hide her keys up. I'm going to put them in my back pocket when I take my bike out.
Oh, old man Tony. Good evening, Tony. How are you, mate?
Hello, Tony, mate.
The Brazilian is like the Kent variant.
well, it's a-
Pubic hair drops out. That's old age. That's nothing to do with fucking where you live.
You know. You say Kent? Right.
Fucking hell. Yeah, but that was a bit ominous that they're saying that they're going to extend it to September. It's a bit,
I thought exactly the same thing. I said exactly the same thing yesterday. Did
Yeah.
I not?
Yeah,
They wouldn't do that if they weren't contemplating extension.
No.
no.
Even if that was a contingency plan.
Yeah,
I
know.
can't see that in June, if they say, okay, that's it, everything's done, they're not going to turn around and say, that's it, we'll bring the end of fucking furlough in back 3 months. You
Yeah.
know? They're
Oh,
not going to pay 3 months fucking extra. They'll have them cunts furloughed.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you've just said, listen, you've just said to me, right, which was what we spoke about yesterday, which you obviously think, and they obviously want us to believe this, is this to help businesses and to save jobs, right, which is fair dues. I fully appreciate that. But I'll tell you what, if I do turn out that they've extended this furlough and we get fucked about it, there's going to be a lot of unfucking happy people,
Oh,
God,
big
yeah.
time.
you know. And
Do you know, I don't condone it, but I can seriously see a lot of fucking riots and fucking people just saying, nah, fuck you.
they will
You've
do,
messed us around for fucking 2 years.
especially as
I ain't
far
fucking
as
doing
they
it.
turn round and say, you know, it's irreversible, right? This is fucking irreversible. So once you're getting your jabs, right?
If this lockdown is extended, I'm gonna go friggin' nuts. I know. Oh shit!
Who rattled her fucking cage?
You're going to go fucking nuts, mate.
Yeah.
Nita's nuts. Whoever
Yeah,
started.
Nita's going to go nuts.
Nita's nuts, right?
Bless her.
Red.
She must be. It put up with me for 22 years.
Nita,
Oh, look, she's back.
Nita, come and have a look at the screen. Nita, come here. Nita.
Nita's nuts with the galvanised nipples. She's
Yeah, bring your galvanised nipples here.
Come here. Nita, come and sit down.
Yeah. Hang on.
Now then, Nita dear, you need to calm down.
Yeah.
Take the medication.
Why?
You've not had your tablets tonight, have you, darling?
Nita's on.
Yeah, I have. I'm still not going to be locked down for another year.
Good for you, darling.
Nita.
What?
Nita, how long
What?
have you supposedly got a shield?
At the moment, till the end of March.
31st
Yeah,
March.
same as.
Right. Right. So you're going to stick to that, yeah?
Yeah. No, I'm not lying. I never tell a lie.
Right. So the barbecue's off this weekend then, Nita, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. You what?
Trouble is, most older people have been jabbed now anyway, so
Yeah,
they've all
I
had the
should have
first
had mine
jab,
about
haven't
3
they?
weeks back. Cunt.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've had mine.
I got it Saturday now.
have you?
I've got one Thursday.
We'll see.
This is the fucking stupid thing. I went, can't remember if it was last week. No, week before last. I went on the Tuesday to have my fucking jab. Gets to the doctor's surgery. And she says, we ain't got nobody booked in for this morning. I said, well, there's the text on my phone telling me to come today. It's not my surgery. It's a partner surgery. Oh, let me have a look at the text, she says. So she has a look at it. She said, no, this is for last Tuesday. I said, how the fucking hell can it have been for last Tuesday? I only booked it on Wednesday. So I said, well, I'm here now. You might as well give me it. Oh, no, I can't do that. Said, we can't do it. You've got to go back to your surgery and book another appointment.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Right, so who out of you lot has had the jab?
Yes.
Right.
Chris
Yes.
is not yours yet, have it? No.
No, should have had it 2 weeks ago. I've got it Saturday now.
Exactly.
And
Carl?
my missus has had hers last week.
Yeah, I know you did. Yeah.
Got mine
Carl?
coming up Thursday, next Thursday.
Next Thursday. What
I
about you?
thought they were doing the over 80s fucking 2 months ago.
Yeah, I know, but I must have got missed.
Oh,
Only
right.
I got a letter a couple of days ago saying to book it online. But I've also got my second jab booked as well for sometime
Yeah,
in April.
No. Well, I've not heard jack shit.
You'll get it soon.
Nobody likes you,
You
so I
will.
don't-
Right. You've got your
Yeah.
second one coming up soon. No, it's got nothing to do with it. The simple fact is, it's got nothing to do with conspiracy theories, right? I've said nothing to these fucking people, right? Simple fact of the matter is, right? I know, I don't give a shit what they're listening to. The simple fact of the matter is, right? I deserve a fucking jab, the same as everybody else.
Look at them, Mark.
Yeah, but they only give
I
it
thought
to
they
you
did.
for
I thought they'd done all the Triceratops a couple of weeks back.
They did.
Sorry, she's going to chew your kebabs. You reckon?
Yeah, I know. She'll fucking piss in it. I know she will.
Oh dear.
I still love you, honest.
Oh, really? Jesus
We
Christ.
love you long time.
Anyway, so yeah, Gordon's had the jab, obviously, and so has Johnny Langdon. But no, I've not heard a single thing. Not heard a single thing. No.
I think they're down. When I went, they were down to like the 60s. Now my missus had hers last week, which is the 50s. So I reckon you only got a couple of 3 weeks. They'd be in your category, I reckon. Yeah.
Not too far behind him. I'm sort of obviously 55 in March. So
My missus is
Yeah,
58.
you'll be there.
My missus is 58. She's got hers Wednesday. I'm
Yeah.
60,
Yeah.
and I've got one on the Thursday.
yeah,
I think they're doing 50s to 60s at the moment, but because I'm technically vulnerable as well.
which
I should
ones?
have had mine about a month ago.
This is something we've spoken about. I mean, obviously the two main ones. You got the Pfizer and the Oxford jab, which is the AstraZeneca, isn't it?
Yeah.
You, Andy, you had the AstraZeneca, didn't you?
Yeah, the Oxford one, yeah.
Yeah, the Oxford
Yeah.
one. Mate.
Yeah. And my missus.
Nita, what did you have?
I had the Pfizer jab.
Did you?
Yep.
Any
You
problems?
sure?
Nope. None
You didn't have
whatsoever.
anthrax, did you?
Not lately, no.
Actually, I've got a funny feeling. I'm down for the third one. Was it Novavax?
Fucking anthrax.
I'm fucking. I'm sure I've got Novavax.
Yeah.
I've got fucking anthrax fucking jab.
I did that with the arse.
Nita, you got to come back with something there. You don't sit there just laughing. You got to come back with something harsh.
Yeah.
I'm not
I'll
a
just
harsh
wait.
person. What's the matter with you?
The second I walk through her back door and see her, she's going to kick me straight in the bollocks. You watch.
Get your hands down
I
there,
can't
Kenny.
reach that high.
Fucking bosh. It'd be headbutt.
Right.
Headbutt in the bollocks.
Right, so Rob.
Kenny, was you looking for your tea down there, Ken?
Oh,
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, get him back. Fish him out, Kenny. Fish him out. Right. Rob, we've not heard anything about his.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I've got to stop you just for a second. Have a look at fucking Nita at the moment. It looks like she's wagging her tail.
Oh, no, she is, mate.
what?
Have a look behind you. There's a fucking tail wagging.
So push.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Sorry.
Oh, look at it, wag. You're dead happy there, lass.
the speed of that fucking thing.
Oh, dog.
Well, you should see mine when it gets fucking going. It's like a blur. It's like Muttley, you know, when he used to fucking come and get his medal.
Yeah.
What, so you got
Catch the
a tail as
pigeon.
well without even having a jab?
Well, no, he's no, I've not had mine yet.
Oh,
Hey,
He's
yeah.
upstairs. He's upstairs. No,
you get
So-
two tails after the jab then.
Saturday I have mine. I'm all right at the moment.
Yeah. So Johnny Langdon reckon he's okay with his.
Yeah. If I come on next week and I've got 3 fucking heads, you'll know why.
If you come on, I'm getting worried. Ha!
I had the jab without the tail.
You and me both.
Come and take over from me for 10 minutes. Come on. You know.
Come on, Stitch.
Come on. Come and take over from me for 10 minutes. Come and host this thing. Why?
No.
What's she watching on the
No.
telly?
Nothing, mate. On the phone.
She watching us on the phone.
Playing Jules. I think Jules.
What's that?
Candy Crush. Fucking
All right.
Come on. Come and take over. Come and say hello. Look, they're all sitting there waiting for. What?
Yeah. God, don't ask her, Wiggy. Put your foot down with a firm man. Tell her you're off for a fucking fag and she's going to take over.
Oh, that's it. I was just
Yeah,
gonna-
yeah. Be
No,
the man.
for the
Be
seat.
the man.
For the seat for
Well-
10 minutes.
Well, before she does that, I'm going to have to go, boys, because I've got to go to work tomorrow. So,
I've got to,
which
I'll
I
just see
just-
what the time is. I'm not going to be very
Yeah.
long.
On a serious
No,
note,
no.
mate, I'm good to see you, Andy. So you
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
might. You what, say? You tell him. You come and tell him.
Down this way Saturday, Andy, pop in.
what's that?
Saturday.
She said
You've
if you're
got to pop
down
in.
this place Saturday, Andy, by all means, pop in.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm taking me bike for an MOT Saturday morning. Yeah.
Yeah, mate. Be met.
You've got social distance like 3 miles, so
Oh, don't give a cut. Well, you're the only one who's vulnerable,
No, Rob.
because you haven't been vaccinated yet, have you?
Yeah.
We have.
no,
Yeah,
mate.
they're not going to die. You are.
Yeah. We'll bring it round for you.
Kenny, have you had
to be
yours?
fair, I've probably got as much fight.
Have you had
back
your jab yet?
as Jab. I wonder
No.
why.
Well, you've had it anyway, so you've got antibodies anyway, ain't you?
Exactly. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's true.
Anyway, boys and girls, see you all later. See you next week.
See you,
Bye.
Andy. Have a good night.
Tell boy. Right.
I'm going to say night-night as well, guys, because,
All right, Chris. No worries, mate. It's great to see you, boy. I'll speak soon, mate. All right.
yeah, like I say, been all of 24 hours, so we'll do it again tomorrow.
Good, mate. Yeah. All right, bud. You look after yourself. I'll speak to you soon. Yeah.
Night, everybody. Night, Stitch.
See you later, Chris.
Night, Nita. Night, Carl. Night, Joe.
What we got here?
Night, John Boy. Night, Mary Ellen.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
See you later, Rob. Rob as well. Rob64. Look after yourself, boy. Speak to you soon. And cheers for watching, but it's been fantastic with Rob69.
I moved to the middle.
Hold on, Larry Davis. Let's have a look here. Larry Davis is back. Larry Davis. Let's have a look here. Later, Andy. We've got Johnny Langdon. He's still here. Gordon.
Hold on.
He's still here. Stitch, you're still here, aren't you? Okay. Right. Night Chris from Stitch. Right. Bandit Nev. Oh, hello, Nev. It's great to have you on board, mate. Great to see you, boy.
Yeah, good to see you, mate.
Yeah, good old boy. That's
cold.
two of the Aussies.
Cold hearts on a metal chair.
Yep.
Oh, just quickly skipping through. I've had a COVID. I've had. Here we go now. A jab. Yeah.
Look, that's us.
Later, Rob. Right.
Oh,
Hello. Hello, Mrs.
Weggy, if you see underneath, you got different picture variations. And underneath
Let's have a look here.
if you actually put it on, no, not that one. The
Flicking around.
yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Oh, you took it off now. PC pants.
No, that's nice to see Nev join us anyway. So we've had O2 Kev, Big Kev join us, and now Nev. Brilliant, fantastic.
Yeah, his mate's not getting over an accident.
That's brilliant. So anyway, Nita, have you been out on your 250 Honda since I see you, or whenever we spoke last time? Have you taken the bike out again?
No, I haven't yet because I've been busy getting rid of rubbish.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, right, from the back.
Yeah.
Still,
Beer.
What do you mean is Kenny still there?
half the road's behind.
Beer.
Did you hear that? Is Kenny still there?
Beer.
Hold on, I'm getting you in the picture, then I'll get you a beer.
Beer.
Have
God.
a toilet.
You can sniff it. Sniff
Hey.
it.
Beer.
Ladies, would you like Stitch to join you for a second while we're going to have a smoke? Come on, all the girls are on here.
Yeah.
All the girls are on
Come
here.
on, Stitch.
Jesus.
Move.
You'd never put it down as a shy one, would you?
No.
Well, no, I wouldn't put her down anyway.
You still do.
I'm not
Come on.
Ooh, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not on.
No, you don't.
Weggy putting her down. It's
Look,
just
no, listen, you've got Mrs. Saunders on here, you've got Mrs. Middleditch, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's turned into a wench's night out.
Jesus, don't even get a break.
Hey, tell her to grab a baby cham and get on here.
Anyway, seriously, yeah. So we're obviously we're all looking forward to June, which is going to be the big the great escape, I believe, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Oh, Bandit Nev, we're having great weather lately. That's cool. That's good. Nev, how has lockdown in Australia affected yourself? Well, that's a question to you, Nev. Obviously, I should have asked Big Kev actually.
Yeah.
You got there's such a big country in that. Obviously, you know, there's so many different levels of it, like we had in the UK with the various lockdowns. What they called the what they called. Yeah, exactly. The different levels that we had all around the country, which is what they've had in Australia, obviously, and the States, of course.
Yeah.
You know.
Also, another question is how's his mate doing in hospital?
Who's that, Nevs?
Yeah.
What's it, Larry? My missus asked for a hug. Told us.
COVID hug.
Not bad here. We have not been hit as bad as you guys. That's good to hear, mate. That's good to hear.
Yeah, but Nev, that's because you haven't got a silicon charge.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, but
Their Pelican Chief is not quite as bad as ours, but he's.
What's that?
nobody's as bad as
I must admit, Nev. I've been speaking
to himself.
to Bill Venture down in Australia, obviously, and he's said that it's not been as bad down there, but they've had local lockdowns in various areas of Australia. So pretty much the same as it has been everywhere else, I suppose. Which is good. Yeah. I need a smoke. I'm going to leave you to have a little chat amongst yourselves for a few minutes.
Yeah. Ladies. You have a chat. I'm going to go get a beer.
Yeah, ladies, you just have a gas. I'll be back in a tick.
Carl needs to go
You
to
going
the
upstairs?
toilet.
Yeah.
Right, you can make me a cup of tea, please.
You want a cup of tea?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to sit on a cold stool as well afterwards, aren't I?
Yep.
I'll take my beer out.
Oh,
Drink it.
oh, bless.
Such a whinge bucket, isn't he? Oh,
Oh,
Thank
bless.
you.
Are you all right, sweet?
yeah, you?
Yes.
It's a motorbike channel.
What?
There's other things besides bloody motorbikes in this world.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not saying nothing
oh,
to that.
Larry, he's just gone to make me a cuppa, Larry, because he better.
Oh, dear. Oh, bless.
So,
Bless salts.
yeah,
Someone else who does it is told.
well, of course.
See, I'm not the only one that does it, I'm told. Carl has to as well.
Hogan?
No.
Oh, I've just come off Facebook because the little ones have nearly had me in tears.
Oh, really?
My niece's daughter, my sister's granddaughter, my niece Mary had to phone my sister and her husband because her daughter was absolutely sobbing.
Why?
Because she missed her nanny and granddad.
Oh,
Because my sister's having to shield as well because of her health issues. And Lily was absolutely sobbing, and that's really unlike Lily. Because she's this feisty little redhead that doesn't take no shit.
yeah.
But yeah. And then my friend's little boy, she's put loads of photos up of, because my friend's little boy is about 4 and his little brother is a COVID baby.
Okay.
And she put loads of photos up of her little boy cuddling the little brother, and it's just like,
Oh, bless. That's so sweet. That's getting to everyone now, I think.
yeah.
And if I get grounded anymore, I'm going to go nuts.
What do you mean, grounded? You keep going, you keep bugging off out.
Yeah,
Me
dump
too.
run. I can't see people.
Oh, so where'd you go the other day?
Where?
You went out in the car, you picked 2 people up, you went somewhere else, you took 2 people home.
Did I?
Yeah,
Who was that then? No, I didn't.
you did.
Who was that then?
Where did you go then on Monday?
Monday. Daughters.
Exactly. So you've been tagged. You're breaking the rules.
She's my bubble. How can I break
They're
the
going to be
rules?
a
She's
bubble. You're 3 mile away.
She's a bubble. I've got to creep round her because she's got to get me more Kit Kats.
Wrong shot for a start.
I keep telling her she's got to buy me Kit Kats.
Oh, Kit Kats, have you? Have you had your jab, Nita?
Yeah, I had mine 4th of February.
Oh, wow. Excellent.
So I should get the second one in next month, hopefully.
Yeah, Carl booked his online earlier in the week. Tuesday, I think it was. He's got his first one next Thursday.
Right.
And his second one is sometime in May.
I'm not like, I tried to book my second one and they won't let me because I have mine at the hospital.
Oh, right, okay.
And they said the hospital would be in contact with you.
Right.
Even
Well,
though they
today-
sent me a letter.
Today, my doctors rang, the nurse from the doctor's surgery, and they've, so I'm having mine next Wednesday, my first one. So,
Yeah. Oh, bless. I didn't get no side effects from mine.
So, good. Which one did you have?
I had the Pfizer jab.
Yeah, people are saying that's a better one. But I think Carl will have the AstraZeneca one.
Oh, okay.
Because I think that's what they're using at the centre that he booked his vaccination with.
All right.
But I think it's the AstraZeneca one that's not going to be as bad for him, because Carl is slightly allergic to eggs.
Oh.
And that's why he can't have the flu jab.
Really?
Yeah, because the flu vaccination is suspended in egg protein to give it a longer shelf life. And
okay, I didn't know that.
One of the coronavirus, one of the corona vaccines is suspended in egg protein.
Ah.
I'm not sure which one, but Carl said it doesn't matter anyway, because he'll just ride out the side effects.
I didn't get no side effects.
So
I was pretty lucky. Didn't even get a dead arm.
I've just got a flu.
You ain't even had one.
Kenny, are you having yours done soon?
I think they'll give up on me because they haven't sent me a text for a fortnight, and I haven't had a letter from the NHS for a fortnight.
Yeah, but you do know that you're going to get nagged from here.
Go, Julie.
I'm going to nag you to get it done so that you don't die.
See?
Oh, I'm at that age now where I'm going to do that anyway.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
They told me I'd never reach 21, so I think because I've hit 70, I'm on my way to 71, I'm doing pretty good.
Oh, Julie, I don't know what to do with him.
Shoot him.
Yeah. Well, given the way you swung your arm a few hours earlier, I would suggest that you've made him brain dead because you caught him like
Yeah.
Thanks, Carl.
I've been brain dead since February 73, Carl, when I done my HGV. They took the brain cells away.
Carl,
yeah.
Does Julie ever go on the back of your bikes?
No. She don't.
Stereo.
No.
Not quite at all.
My head's too fat for a helmet.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. That's what I'm telling myself. So, you know.
But seriously, you're not interested in
I leave you to finish. I forgot my beer.
Oh, you silly sod. No, I had 4 friends die. And 3 of them were girls that were actually pillion passengers.
Right.
And I was on the back of my then boyfriend's motorbike, and he was quite drunk.
Yeah.
And I managed to get him to stop to let me off. And we had a few choice words. He threw his helmet at me and then picked it up and put it back on.
Right.
The helmet actually bruised my leg quite badly. And then he sped off, and he was very angry, and he sped off in a temper. And basically 50 yards down the road, I stood there and watched him crash and come off his motorbike, and I just can't.
That was that.
That was that, yeah.
Not the best experience, was it?
No, not really. So, yeah, as I say, three of my friends that died were girls, and they were pillion passengers, and one was a bloke.
You
know,
for years and years, I've actually preferred not to give pillions, to be honest. My first wife, she was on the back of my bike, and I hit diesel, come off, and she wasn't too badly hurt. And that's just the fact she came off the bike, and she never went on the back of the bike again.
No.
So really, I've not over the years done too much pillion work. I prefer, in a lot of ways, like most bikers prefer to do a solo, but I'm more than happy to do pillion as long as if you've got a good pillion. You know, if you've got a good pillion on the back of a motorcycle, you don't even know they're there. You know.
No, I know.
I know.
I just became too frightened after that. Every time I tried to get on, I'd be as stiff as a board and I'd be clinging on for dear life.
Mm.
And it wasn't a pleasant experience for him
No.
riding, and it wasn't a pleasant experience for me. And I just said, do you know what? I can't do this.
I think as a pillion, if you don't enjoy it, you're never going to enjoy it, because at the end of the day, you're given the control over to somebody else. You know, we do that in a car all the time, you know, but it's different. What about you, Nita? When's the last time you went pillion with Kenny, Nita?
Oh, fucking hell.
Can't remember.
Got to be 18 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy being a pillion, Nita? No.
I trust Kenny implicitly. No, I don't.
Well, he fell off.
I know Carl would be so careful
Yeah.
with me on the back.
Mm.
I just can't do it.
Mm.
No, I'd like to be in control of my own bike.
When did you have the 600?
It was at
Roebuck Road, wasn't it?
Kelly.
No, the 600.
What, the first one?
Yeah.
2010. No, before that, 2006.
2006, when I brought the 600 home from Asda's. We went and filled it up with petrol and I come down the A14 flat on the tank behind the screen. And the pump bags were pressing into my shoulder blades. Then for reason 120 mile an hour, boom, round the back of the head.
Stitch
I want to get past my test, I'll lose my license before I get it.
When it gets sorted, she's got to try.
Right. So, but I like my car. It's nothing fancy. It's a Hyundai i10. It's still got the tape on from before the front bumper was replaced. Still got the tape on the sides when I held the old one on. It's my car.
I must admit, I mean, I've recently bought a car after 6 or 7 years of not owning one. I'm quite enjoying it, actually, based on the fact that obviously I've not been able to ride. You know, and of course it's now an automatic, so which I didn't have to do. I could have got a stick shift, but it just made sense with the leg, you know, and the injury that I had. I quite enjoyed it, actually. You know, going back to sort of a little bit of heat, especially this time of year, and a bit of music in the background. It's quite nice. But nothing, absolutely nothing in a car, that regardless of what car it is, compares to any motorcycle. Just doesn't, you know. But
I don't know. When I was younger, I always wanted my favourite car, which is an MGB GT with wire wheels.
Yeah.
And I think that would have come pretty damn close to a bike. So that's me. Somebody else may not feel like that, but now I'm not going to own one of them because I'm actually too old and crotchety and stiff to actually get down into the driving seat and then back out again. So
I'll just go on to Bandit Nev here. Murray Bridge GP has made history this morning by becoming Australia's first recipient of the AstraZeneca vaccine. All right, okay. So what is the main vaccine over in Australia at the moment? Because we've obviously got two over here, which is the AstraZeneca, which was the Oxford, and obviously we've got the Pfizer jab, which is fair, if I'm right in saying, is fairly worldwide, isn't it? The Pfizer. It's been the size of the cosmetics, not the cosmetics, the company that they are. Sorry, not cosmetics, it's wet.
Yeah. Although I think the AstraZeneca one is actually doing a big thing in Asia because they've got the place in India that AstraZeneca owns.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because they're both massive companies anyway, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
Pfizer's probably the biggest one, isn't it? I don't know what they're using in the States though.
They're using the Pfizer one.
Are they?
Yeah, that's the one that was developed in Germany, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Or the other one.
I just wondered. Anyway, just going back to what Julie was talking about. There we go. Right, there you go. Julie?
Yeah. But
Brilliant.
she also says it's very easy to control a motorbike from the pillion seat, but the rider generally doesn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
No.
First time on a bike, she leans
Yeah.
one way, I lean the other. The bike.
I only done it once.
Yeah, done that.
Jamie.
Do you know what?
He grabbed the steering wheel once when I was driving.
Yeah.
He's never done it again, ever.
No.
Yeah, but to be fair, we would have actually crashed if I hadn't.
Mm. I've done it many times, though. My first wife would lean, or she wouldn't lean. She'd stay bolt upright. So trying to get around the corner was bloody hard. And if they're fearful and they start leaning in the opposite direction that you're meant to be going, that's even worse because you're a bend and you can't get around it.
But being bolt upright and stiff as a board is how I was after I saw Andy crash in the distance.
Yeah.
Because it just frightened me so much.
Yeah.
Well, my daughter, Kirsty, she used to go back on Kenny's bike and fall asleep.
Yeah.
Straight up. She'd go to sleep every time.
You used to fall asleep on the back of a Hayabusa, didn't you?
I'm not sure whether our Kirsty's ever been on a motorbike, has she?
No.
Yeah.
Don't know.
No, she's more of a car girl, is our Kirsty.
I don't know if John Joe's been on a bike.
Oh, John Joe's just a prat.
Yeah, I know.
Really?
Oh.
Larry, what's a car?
Yeah.
It's a cage, mate. You know them big box things that you crash into when they get in the way. That's a car.
So
You're supposed to go round things like that.
All right.
Or either a Morris Minor or a Beetle, you just lift the front wheel up and run over the top of them.
I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed, peeps. Night, night.
Night, night, Nita.
Oh. Yep.
Where's Billy Joe going?
What?
You know, shooting off later, right?
Yeah, I'm going to bed.
Bit early, isn't it?
No.
Normally 9 o'clock.
9
No.
o'clock? What do you do
Yeah,
about at 9 o'clock at night?
Crochet.
Crotchet.
And the telly on quiet.
I have to chill.
All right, Nia. See you later.
No, Nita.
Penny's back. So it's very easy to control a motorbike from the pillion seat, but the rider generally doesn't appreciate it.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Slap round the back of the helmet.
Especially when you got a 16-stone trunk on the back and you got clip-on handlebars.
You fall asleep on your back.
Yeah. Forever pushing them back upright behind my after you try to get round the corner very gently without trying to get them to slide off. I think I'd rather have a 4-stone bag of potatoes behind me with a bungee strap. At least they stay where you put them.
Mm.
Right, first it was a Pfizer, but now it's the AstraZeneca in Australia. Right.
And they make it in Melbourne.
Is there any particular reason why they've moved from the Pfizer to the AstraZeneca, or are they using both?
Probably using both.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought
you get your
both,
brand
mate,
on.
Yeah,
I think that's down a lot with the EC or the EU because that's Holland and France and Germany have banned any. They banned Italy exporting any out to Australia.
Fella.
Yeah,
Right.
but
Yeah,
then
I
they
think
say the French reckon they're going into number 3, don't they?
Okay, which one are you?
No, I know.
Right. Anyway, so they're making the AstraZeneca in Melbourne. Right. So that's cool. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, the more
Yeah,
places you make it, the better.
Well, are we still in number 2 or have we moved on to number 3 like France?
How do you mean?
Well, they reckon that France is now being banged against the wall again with number 3.
I don't know, mate. Number
They
3 or
let-
what?
They opened everything up just after Christmas, didn't they? New Year.
Right.
banned people going over the border. Well, Germany banned French or anybody coming over the border into Germany, didn't they?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. To be honest with you. Completely honest, right? I've only paid attention to what's going on in this country because it's all the only country that I really give a shit about, to be honest with you. You know, at the moment, and that's not being funny, right? But I live here, the same as, you know, it's what it is with me. It's the fact that I suppose, of course, you care about what's going on in other countries for their people's sake, but I'm not into going on the foreign holidays like a lot of people have been complaining, right, that they won't be able to get their foreign holiday before the end of June because some of them have booked them in April and May and so on and so forth. So there's people up in arms that since the release of the new detailed plan, you know, I've seen it time and time again as people said, oh, no, it's the end of the world. We're not going to get a holiday after all. What did you expect? You know? But, you know, to be honest with you, our biggest problem has been the fact that, you know, we've been complaining about all these so-called variants, and yet we never shut the borders down.
Exactly.
That's the trouble.
Biggest problem.
Exactly. Don't get me started because you will just, I'll just have an epic rant.
Yeah. All right. So it's about they're saying can get more AstraZeneca quicker. I think I would have thought so. If they're actually making it in Melbourne, that would have been the case, wouldn't it? You know.
Yeah.
It makes sense to make it over there, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Strange thing is, ours is made in Belgium. The EU's getting dead upset because they can't get hold of it.
Yeah, but it'd be nice, though, you know, getting to the end of this. So if everything goes to plan, I mean, you know, it's going to be fantastic for people, everybody, not just us bikers, but everybody to feel that sense of freedom again. Of course, I don't expect for 1 minute you're going to see, you know, people not walking around with masks and people not sanitizing and that, because I think that's going to carry on.
Yeah, it's going to be fair. I mean, I for one will carry on wearing a mask.
Yeah.
And things like that. I don't know whether Carl's told you, but we've come to the conclusion that our son is just a selfish cunt.
Right.
Because he's not having the
Jenny's cracking up.
well, he just is. He's
right.
You know, but he's turned around and said this week that he's not having the jab, and we know he's been saying that for ages.
Yeah.
Because I said to him, oh, you know, come March the 8th, we'll, you know, I'll be able to go out again a bit more.
Yeah.
But I still won't be able to see you. So I said, okay. And then he got onto this vaccination thing, and he said he wasn't having it. And I know he wasn't because he'd been telling Carl for weeks.
Yeah.
But but I basically said, well, what about me and your dad and the other vulnerable people in our family, because we've got quite a few, and vulnerable members of society? Oh, well, no. He basically said he didn't give a shit about vulnerable people in society. Right. The only reason he would have a jab is that if he met somebody who couldn't have the jab that he would see regularly.
Right.
So basically, he's just turned around and told me and Carl, fuck off. And part of his conversation was, I will not be emotionally blackmailed by you, Mum. And I thought, me just stating, but what about other members of society and family and blah? That is not emotional blackmail. To me, emotional blackmail is, if you loved me, you would have the vaccination. And I haven't gone down that road.
No.
But basically, that's it. I'm done. Done. I can't do it anymore.
Another argument he's using is if I get the virus, I'm 99.9% not going to actually die from it.
Yeah.
He's only concerned with how it will affect him. But the thing is,
selfish cunt.
What I'm saying is, because we don't know how effective it is, i.e., it's between 75 and 95%. He could still bring it into us and still infect us.
Yeah.
And who knows, one of us might still die from it because, you know, whatever.
Well, I mean, I suppose, I mean, that's like my mother. I mean, she's been she had cancer obviously 2 years ago. So when she was asked to sort of isolate, she's isolated properly, and she's had to. She's bellied it out. All she's done is sort of moan and groan to me that she's not seeing anybody, obviously, which is fair enough. She knows she can't. I mean, we do make a point of going around and standing at the doorway, you know, to make sure they're seen. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, as soon as they were offered the jab, her and my stepfather, now, I mean, she's 75, and I think he's 78. They went straight down. They had no problems with it whatsoever. And I have to say, I mean, I've been, you know, like a lot of people have been, as we all have been, not naysayers, but sort of literally looking for answers with this COVID shit. And because there's been so much media with it, media that is either brainwashed one way or the other, right? And you can get involved in it, and you can get enthralled in it all, I suppose. You tend to make your minds up, which can be, when you look back at something that's quite negative. But, you know, to be fair, you know, regardless of whether you've had it or not, and I have, I still think that the vaccination route is the way to go. And I still think that, to be honest with you, whether they actually implement it or not, there will be some sort of there'll be questions as to whether you've had it or not, possibly in the future. That's not to try and bias people from one side or the other. I mean, everybody's open to you know, their own opinion of it, and it's up to them whether they have it or not. But at the end of the day, if a family member or somebody says to you, well, unless you actually prove to me that you've had the jab, you're not coming through my fucking door, you have to accept that fact, you know. And it's not just about yourself, it's about other people. And I'll tell you what, the worst fucking thing you can ever hear, the worst thing you can hear is you've gone positive with it. And that is not nice.
No.
It's because regardless of age, when you hear it, you think, shit, you know, this, regardless of whether they say to you there's 97, 98% people who get through it okay, you honestly don't know whether you're going to be one of them that really goes down with it and suffers.
Yeah,
exactly. Because it's not just the elderly and vulnerable, although more of those have died from it in the percentage brackets, but there have been completely healthy people dying.
I see it. Do you know what? I see something, right? And I mean, people have said, you know, this is right. Let's just go back to the basics, right? This is to get rid of the old people, right? This is what they were said. And do you know what I see on BBC News the other day? Right, the government, and it's on BBC News about 2 or 3 days ago. The government are going to be saving something like $1 billion or something or other on old age pension because of the amount of old people that have died from COVID. Yeah. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And I thought, what a stupid thing to put up.
Yep.
To be honest. And they did actually put that up on the official BBC News. The government will be saving this much money because over 65, many people over that age have been obviously passing away with whatever, you know.
I'm sorry, but I know people have voted Conservative and everything in 2019, but there's been times when I've thought, I wish we had America's gun laws so somebody would shoot that fucker.
Yeah. I think you're right in a way, what you just said. I think the BBC News, I think the BBC are completely and utterly biased. Yeah. You know, I've much preferred, if I watch anything, to watch anything from ITV or Sky News. You've got to be away from the British corporate fucking BBC News all the time, you know, because they are obviously, you know, corporation run anyway, aren't they?
I'm sorry, Larry.
Before we were COVID, I'm like, you did not lost 3 stone. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah. I don't know how bad, it was say. My auntie passed away just before Crimbo with COVID. I'm lucky I did not get it bad. I didn't. I was lucky. I was lucky. I went for. I had a COVID test, and I was negative. A few days later. What's that?
COVID is the only thing from China that has lasted so long.
Oh, yeah, so I'll just say that, but to be honest, I was lucky, Julie, because I had a COVID test and I was negative. And then about 4 days later, I started to feel a bit shit, right? And I thought, right, okay, just didn't feel right at all, right? And then I had the test and come back as positive, right? Yours was negative, mine was positive, right? And of course, it was a very strange fucking thing to be told. As I said, you know, quite worrying. Don't matter how tough you think you are in life, it's quite a worrying thing to think, you know, shit, where's this going to go then, right? Yeah. I had a couple of days when I felt, a couple of 3 days when it was sort of rough. I had upset stomach and my breathing got a little bit tighter than it normally was. Skull ache and this and the other. Just generally felt a bit rough, right? And of course, a lot of that is made worse because you're worrying about it, you know.
Yeah.
And then eventually you sort of, you know, you get through. And of course, you're asked to isolate for 10 days, which you do. And then you sort of, all you're hearing about, this is the worst bit about it, you're hearing on the news continuously, oh, right, it's gone up to, you know, people have passed away after 28 days of first hearing they've just got positive. I'm thinking, fuck me, I've got 18 days of this shit, right?
Yeah.
And, well, you know, it would be funny, but I started to feel better and better, you know, and of course, like most people do. And of course, there's different levels of that. But at the same time, as I said before, the paramedic who picked me up back in last March after my motorcycle accident, as I said to you, I actually said to the guy, he was a biker and he's now part of my Suffolk crew anyway, Gordon Parrish. I said to him at the time, I said, this bloody COVID crap, I said, what's your take on it? And he actually said to me, he said, you know what, mate, he said, I ain't too fussed about it. That's just fucking another flu bloke, you know, that's how he sort of said at the time. Right, and he wasn't laughing it off or anything. It's just
it was just what.
And this was the ambulance. And literally 4 weeks later, this poor sod is a really genuinely nice bloke, right? He was on a ventilator, and he was on a ventilator for about 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, this paramedic, and he's one of these ones who obviously, you know, he's I suppose he's got the long COVID now. He's now got to repair himself completely. It's only in the last 4 weeks he's actually gone back to work, you know.
Yeah.
And this was going back to last March. So, yeah, there's people out there. And, of course, I was speaking to my brother, and he said that his mate down the road, he knows 4 Ipswich taxi drivers around the age of sort of 40 to 50 that have died. You know, taxi drivers are just open to it all the time.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, as many good stories as you're hearing, you know, about people flying through it and not really suffering, or people not having any symptoms whatsoever. Of course, there's still the news on the other side. And that's in the biking community as well, which we all listen to, which has hit people, some people, quite hard. And they're not the old people, they're not the people with underlying health issues or anything like that. These are generally standard people, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's out there, whatever it is, it's out there. And of course, like I say, the one thing you don't want to hear is, however hard you try and look after yourself, you sanitize, you put your mask on, you do your social distances, right? When you're actually told, right, you're positive, mate, you've got it, it's the nicest thing in the world. You know, it certainly ain't. You know. So that's why when I do get offered the jab, I'll be straight down that centre for my jab, and then I'll be waiting for the second one like everybody else, you know.
Yeah.
So Larry says the only thing
so what have you
slept. So
You what, sorry?
Larry says he mainly slept. He had a red hot back and
I slept a lot as well. I did sleep. Well, I sleep a lot anyway, but I mean, I did sleep. Well, but you know, the most worrying thing for me, on top of that, is because I have to wear that CPAP, don't I?
Yeah.
I thought if my breathing's getting difficult, this is only going to affect my breathing. But luckily, I found actually with the CPAP machine, it actually helped me a lot because obviously the pressured cool air, right? Because the window's slightly open, so it's picking up, you know, the cooler air from the vent. Actually helped, to be honest. You know?
My Avon lady, her sister had it last April, and she's on a CPAP machine like us, and she said it helped her.
Yeah.
You know, it helped her a lot. So
it does. It's a funny old thing, you know.
Yeah.
It really did. But a lot to say. Until you've actually, you know, I mean, of course, you know, I think they say 1 in 3 people have supposedly had it, right, or been told that they've had the COVID. it's certainly a concerning thing to be told, to receive the message in an email and a text message on the, you know, within seconds of each other, right? And the person you've gone down with, right, has come back negative, and you think, you know, it's incredible. You had yours first, it come back as negative. I thought, happy days, I'll be negative as well then. That weren't. You've got it. You've got it. You know, bollocks to you, mate. You've got it. Well, you're magic and I'm not. Fair enough.
Magic mushrooms, maybe.
Yeah. So.
Good night, John.
And I certainly didn't. Just right. Yeah, John. See you later, mate. Great to have you on board again, mate. As ever. See you next week, mate. I suppose.
Yeah.
Help yourself. Yeah, it's a funny old thing, really. But like I say, I've got no problem going and get the jab. You know, I don't really, you know, I don't care. But I have to say, and everybody who knows me knows this, when I had back in last February, January, February time, I had a real horrible week, a terrible. And I said actually on Facebook at the time, and loads of people, I said, I don't know what this flu is. But this flu is bloody something that I've never had before. And this was last January, February, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you what, this if I'd have been told I'd got COVID, right, and I'd felt like I did last February, I'd be extremely concerned. But this time I was concerned, but because the health didn't go downwards too far, I wasn't. But had this have been last January, February, I would have been concerned. And Kenny knows it. Yeah.
I've only ever had flu once.
Yeah.
And good God, I don't want to ever have it again. You know, I was so poorly that in the end we had to throw the duvet out, didn't we? Yeah. Because I've been sick on it so many times. It was just like beyond repair, or couldn't get it in the washing machine or anything like that. And the doctor came and he said if she hadn't improved by tomorrow, she's going into hospital. And this was when I was about 31. You know, and it was horrible. Never want flu again. And when I was at work and people said, "Oh, I've been off 2 days with the flu," I was like, "No, you haven't.
That's not flu." That's a bit of a nasty sniffly cold.
Yeah.
Well, in fact, it's actually COVID, but we won't go into that.
No. I really didn't know what the hell that was last year, and I actually made a point. I said, I don't know what this is. Right, I've never felt this like this before. Right, and it's shit. Right, really poorly. Same as there was Murray Forsyth, who's part of the crew. He was exactly the same, and Kenny was saying that he felt like shit. He felt like shit ever since, didn't he, Kenny? You reckon?
Yeah, but there was a lot of people in comment last year as well, and they felt dreadful, absolutely dreadful.
Well, just got to say quickly, great to have you. Seeing Nev, mate. It's been fantastic to have you join us, mate, and hopefully you'll join us again at some point. But great to see you, mate. Look after yourself and speak to you soon, Neville.
Aussie.
Yeah, I know he's an Aussie.
Okay.
He's just told us that they're making AstraZeneca in Melbourne.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, mate. It's brilliant.
Bye, Nev. Oh God.
I did say tell out to Johnny Langdon is just saying, and Gordon's just said on here, he was told if I started to get a tight chest to use my CPAP during the day if I needed to. Well, the point is, they do recommend if your breathing gets tight for any reason, if you got, not with colds and that, because a CPAP can be quite uncomfortable with a cold and all that shit. But tight chested, then obviously a CPAP is going to help because it's opening your airways to a greater degree to help you breathe anyway, isn't it? So
basically, CPAP it's akin to a ventilator anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, absolutely. I was just reading this as well. Larry Davis. Larry Davis on here, and I know Larry well. Neil son of Adam, my Mrs. Negative, she had a risky carrier. It's funny, to the people who have been in the higher risk categories in the households are the ones who have not been getting it, whereas other members of the family have gone positive. Strange, isn't it?
It could be something to do with the medication they're on, or
it's absolutely, yeah, because of heavy doses of medication. Yeah. There's a point.
They reckon that somebody with asthma who uses an inhaler is actually 30% less likely to get the disease, but higher risk of popping the clogs if they actually get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You say you got 3 inhalers. 3. You got the pink, the blue, and the white one. You got as well. Yeah.
See, I'm only on the brown one with the blue as a backup.
Yeah. But Larry's just said as well, his missus was on loads of meds.
I've got COPD as well as asthma.
Yes, COPD as well as asthma.
Yeah.
Any crazy?
Yeah.
But he's got that as well. He's absolutely fucking crazy.
I'll take pills for that too.
You've got pills for that as well.
Yeah. And the magic mushrooms.
It's been a few years since the mushrooms went down her neck. Anyway, what we got here? Anyway, well, it's been absolutely fantastic. It's been a decent night.
Yep. You even had some bike talk.
Yeah, we had some bike talk. We were sort of spoken about sort of normal stuff and that, but it's been fantastic for you to join us once again, everybody. I'm getting tired.
One question, Wiggy.
Go on then, Kenny.
When you get your jab,
Take him with you.
can you tell me if you put on weight?
I can't put any more weight than I've got already, mate. I actually lost a little bit of weight. I've been laying off the chocolate bars and the biscuits and stuff, but I actually bought a pack of Yorkies tonight and some Walker's crisps.
And the beer.
A bottle of Old Peculiar. Yeah.
And the beer.
We made the fatal mistake of opening the chocolate raisins earlier.
Oh, love them. Love them. Deadly good things. Chocolate peanuts, chocolate raisins, lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, love them. But anyway, everybody, it's been fantastic. I'm now going to sort of call it a day. Julie, it's been great to talk to you again. Carl, Kenny, obviously Nina.
Lovely seeing you all.
See you soon.
All right, and we'll do this again next week, I guess.
Yeah.
Night.
Maybe.
Everybody, look after yourselves. Speak to you soon, yeah? And cheers, everybody.
See you all.
Bye-bye.
I'll just one more thing, Gordon. If you get admitted to hospital with COVID, the first thing you do is put people on CPAP machines as well. They were sure. Yeah, fair enough. Gordon, cheers for joining us, mate. The same as Larry Davis, fantastic boy. Same as Johnny Langdon, Suffolk Andy, Chris, Kenny, Carl, Julie, Stitch. You did join us, didn't you? Yeah. Everybody else.
Nita, you forgot Nita.
And Nita, obviously, but Nita's upstairs playing with her crotchets.
She's not. She's there.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah.
She's stopped playing with her crotchets.
Yeah, she.
Yeah. Drag her down.
Old man Tony as well. Old man Tony is another one, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's been here for a while.
We haven't seen. I'll tell you what. I just got one question, right? Is anybody in contact, right, with Moist off YouTube?
No.
Can't get hold of him.
He's been quiet the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. I just wondered if
last week. He was
He
here
joined
last week.
Yeah, he joined us last week, but see, that was on Carl's channel when they set up with the crew and that. I just wondered if he'd not been able to see this one, but see, Google doesn't spread the information about like it used to, does it, with the YouTube Hangouts and everything?
If you actually put it on the crew Hangout page, he might have picked it up.
Yeah, well, is he on there though? Is he on there?
What the audience were having trouble with Google.
He searches live broadcasts, is he? Right, is that what he said? Oh,
That's
right.
what he said a couple of 3 weeks back, but
right,
we
okay.
also told him about if you actually subscribe and whatever, it just comes up on your feed.
Yeah, okay.
So
It might be wise just to when he does come on next time. If we do remember, just to sort of obviously tell him about. You obviously got your channel, Cole the Dingbat. We've got the Suffolk Crew channel. We've got obviously mine, and Chris has got his independent channel as well. So it could come up on any one of those 4 channels. Can it 4 or 5?
Well,
No.
Google needs COVID. It was too free.
Right, yeah. Well,
Bye.
Oh, chair
See
work.
you later.
Okay.
Yep.
Right, everybody. See you soon, yeah?
Yeah.
Look after
Ta-da.
yourselves. Speak later.
No.
Bye bye. Bye.
Ta-da.
Bye bye.